Winterhawks. This is the first game since that aborted game on the 29th day of December. This is the first time that Rob Krause will appear in Tri-Cities Coliseum wearing the red and black of the Portland Winterhawks. Should be a good game. The Winterhawks have been playing better, although they fell to Victoria the other night in Victoria, and they'd certainly like to redeem themselves tonight. Coach Ken Hodge likes the fact that Rob Krause brings a lot of emotion, a lot of drive to his team that it didn't have before he was acquired, basically for nothing, from the Tri-City Americans about Christmas time. Well, we'll see if he can control that emotion and that drive tonight as the Portland Winterhawks try to put one on the Tri-City Americans. The Americans, on the other hand, coming off 4 days of rest following a big weekend last weekend. The Americans have been on a roll, winning 7 of their last 9 games, winning 5 straight at home. Team going very well. Well, it should be a great game tonight between the Portland Winterhawks and Tri-City Americans. We'll have the starting lineups and face-off coming up on this Cable 15 telecast.
There are a lot of ways to spend your advertising dollars.
Interest-free checking.
Tonight, grand opening Joe's Diner. Look here.
Then there is a way to invest through the power of this, connected to this. When you advertise your business locally on CNN.
Lift off on Columbia and Bush's vow. Inflation got.
This is Larry King live in Los Angeles.
To advertise locally on CNN, contact your cable operator.
First of all, for the Portland Winterhawks on defense, it's number 5, Jim Deck. Starting at center, it's number 8, Scott Mydan. At defense, it's number 14, Rick Fry. At right wing, it's number 18, Brent Fleetwood. At left wing, number 20, Ryan Sunko. And in goal tonight for the Hawks, number 34, Michael McCoy. And now the starting lineup for your Tri-City Americans. On defense, it's number 10, Scott Farrell. Also on defense, number 9, Justin Dirksen. Starting at center tonight, number 14, Stu Vaughn. At left wing, it's number 22, Calvin Hill. At right wing, it's number 23, Steve Reddy. In goal tonight, starting for the Americans, number 33, Olaf Kozuback. Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention now toward the penalty box. We please stand for the for the American national anthem performed tonight by Monty Ingersoll. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts
This first period face-off brought to you by Nevada Bob's Discount Golf, the Tri-City's widest selection of golf supplies, best selection, best prices at Nevada Bob's. And now for the excitement of Tri-City Americans hockey, here's the voice, Kirk Williamson.
And Stu Barnes wins the drop. The Winterhawks drive it back through neutral ice. Dirksen tied up along the wall by Slemko. Maiden with the puck. Stolen away there by Nibs. Gets it right to Barnes. Barnes and Fry go into the corner. Barnes with it. Taken away by Deck. Deck brings it out the right wing to Fleetwood. Fleetwood back to neutral ice where Farrell cuts it down. Gary Hughes, the referee tonight. Barnes wheels. Makes an outlet pass between the legs. Nibs finds Rennie. Rennie with it. Nibs. Shot. Save. On the doorstep is Barnes, but a nice save there made by Byron Defoe. Starting lineups very quickly. Farrell and Dirksen for the Americans with Barnes' line. Stu Barnes, Calvin Nibs, and Steve Rennie. Ole Kolzik between the pipes. For the Winterhawks, Deck and Rick Fry with Scott Maiden's line, Fleetwood right, and Slemko to the left. Now the big hand you hear is for Rob Krause, former Tri-City American, coming on the ice for the Winterhawks as both teams have a shift change in the early going here. Face off left circle, Winterhawks zone. Levins against Dorchak. Face off won by Dorchak. Krause with the puck. Touches it behind the net, but Levins takes it away from him. Knocked back loose, picked up by Levins. Levins throws it out front. Jakes takes it out to the right point. It gets by him, and Jakes will go back to neutral ice to reset. Bangs it off the wall for Spenrath. In along the left wing boards, Lindsay. He's tied up by Kelly Harris. Puck goes all the way around to the right point. Jakes fans on it. Jumping on the puck is Gorley. Gorley, 2-on-1. Gorley goes to the right side. Shot saved. Kolzik makes the save. Jakes slams into the net. Net's dislodged. They'll face it off in the American zone.
Steve Jakes back after 2 games being out of the lineup with the hurt shoulder. Is at the point on the right side and lets the puck get by him. Fans on the attempt. The Winterhawks are there to pick it up on a 2-on-1. They go down the ice. The puck is tipped away at the very last second by Steve Jakes. He pops back up on his skates and runs right into the goal, and it dislodges the net. They'll have to face off to the right circle of Olaf Kolzik.
Dean Dorchak and Steve McNutt on the face-off, a pair of 15. That's Kolzik's left-hand side. Tom Cowell, and Brent Frizzell are the linesmen tonight. I believe that's Frizzell. Is that Frizzell?
Yes, it is.
Face-off won by the Americans. Back behind the net, Virtue. Wheels around, left to right. Out to the blue line. The Americans, or Krause knocks it back in. Harrison with it. Starts down the slot in a scramble. The Americans steal it away. Sakic lays it off right to Gorley. Back to Rob Krause. Krause through center ice. It'll be picked up by Dorchak. Wheels in from the left side. Has it stolen away from him by McNutt, and we get a whistle from behind the play. It'll go against the Americans.
Tri-City Americans call for the slashing penalty.
Terry Virtue, the miscreant. And the penalty coming at the minute 18 mark. Winterhawks' first power play of the night.
Portland Winterhawk power play at about a 19% clip on the season. Not really what the power play that we saw 1 year ago. But again, this is a completely different team. A team that has only had 18 wins so far this season, Kirk.
Face-off left circle. Judson Ennis and Steve Rennie. Rennie and Nibs, the penalty killers for the Americans. The lunch bucket boys. Face-off left circle. Won by Portland. In behind the net, Jakes drives it back out to the blue line. Controlled by Portland, right to Rennie. Rennie and Nibs, 2-on-1. Nibs a drive! He scored! Calvin Nibs! Steve Rennie on the assist. Nibs cranks up that slap shot from the left circle and slides it to the long side off the post on Byron Defoe.
The lunch bucket crew does it once again. Steve Rennie and Calvin Nibs picking up the mishandled pass at center ice. They go back and forth as you do in basketball. The give and go. Passes it right off to Calvin Nibs. He gets right inside the blue line. Lets one rip. He pops it in the net. The Americans' 17th shorthander of the season. Calvin Nibs' 6th shorthander of the year, and the Americans take the lead 1-0.
Krause finds Ennis, and Nibs is there to knock it away once again for the Winterhawks. Portland trying to break it in now. Maiden with the puck. Goes up the left wing for Krause, and it's offside. Picked up by Scherstenka, left of the net. Slaps it off the glass, gets by Kraus. Rennie jumps on it. Here comes Nibbs. Nibbs and Rennie again. 2-on-1 with Kraus catching up. Nibbs on the doorstep. Poke checked away by Defoe. And Nibbs gets cranched into the boards by Kraus. Right side, Meiden. Meiden goes left, finds Leahy in the slot. Up front, shot, save, Kolzig. Puck knocked away from right in front as Leahy dives in on top of Dirksen. Now Dirksen goes down behind the net. Loose puck into left corner. Winterhawks bring it back up. Sebastian, a drive save. Kolzig, and he covers it up. Great save by Ole Kolzig. And now Dirksen has Judson Innes pinned to the ice. Innes and Dirksen are having a little yap down there. Judson Innes, not a big man, 5'10", maybe, 188-pound, a 20-year-old rookie from Powell River, BC. He led the Paper Kings to the BC Junior Championship or playoffs last year up in Powell River.
Referee Gary Hughes with the whistle did not blow it loud enough, and also number 10 Greg Leahy for the Winterhawks down there trying to get the stick and trying to pop that puck loose, and he kept working a little overtime after the whistle was blown.
Face-off left circle, Tri-City zone. That's Kolzig's right-hand side. It'll be Jamie Black now and Levins on the face-off. Tri-City still a man short with Virtue in the penalty box. Winterhawks win the draw. Levins steals the puck. Levins leaves it for Schustanka. He looks ahead. Finds Spenrath, but it goes off a stick and out of play. Spenrath in a lot of traffic. They'll face it off in the neutral zone.
Tri-City Americans on a 5-game home winning streak here, and this is their second longest of the season. They can tie their longest tonight with the victory. Ironically, the team that snapped the Am 6-game winning streak back in the early part of the season was this same team right here, Portland. A 7-6 win on the 1st of November.
Tri-City's leading 1-0 over the Portland Winterhawks. Puck shot through neutral ice, cut down by Schustanka, driven back into the Portland zone. Back for it is Rick Fry. Fry stands behind the net. He'll bring it out the left side. Fry steps right straight up the middle. The Americans give him a lane. He goes to the right side to Jamie Black. Black, blue line. He's crunched by Levins, and the puck is shot right back out by Dan Schustanka. Back for it this time goes Mike Ruark, an 18-year-old rookie from Calgary. Ruark steps up. Comes up to his own blue line, drives the pass cross ice, cut down by Dirksen. Dirksen in traffic with Harrison and Black all over him. Puck's in behind the net, comes off to Fleetwood. He drives it around the wall behind the net. Black again will try to short side Kolzig. No, goes up to the right hash marks now. 5 seconds left in the power play. Ruark a drive, missed, left side. Comes off to Rennie. Rennie will start it out. He's under pressure. Winterhawks with it, but Virtue's back on the ice. Now Rennie steals it. Virtue breaks up ice. They hit his stick, and he takes it in behind the net. Terry Virtue. He can handle the puck pretty well. Tries to throw it out front to Nibbs, but Byron Defoe lands on top of it. Of all the Americans' defensemen, probably Schustanka or Virtue would be the two guys you'd want going down that way.
That's exactly right. Terry Virtue, a very good puck handler. He did some damage up in Victoria. Fact is, he's part of a trivia question up there before Victoria snapped that 32-game losing streak. Their last win, who was the high point man of the evening? And that was Terry Virtue.
No kidding.
4 points up there that night.
That tells you something. 1-0 Americans lead early going first period. Tri-Cities Coliseum. Bayern's on the face-off against Jamie Black. Black's getting a lot of ice time. Well, check it. That's Judson Innes, number 7. Innes goes out. The 2s and 7s on the Winterhawk units look a lot alike. Face-off this time won by Leahy, but the Americans keep it in play. Virtue driving it in beside the net. Winterhawks fired around on the dasher board, cut down by Nibbs, tried to get it to Barnes in the right corner. Barnes couldn't get it. Up to the top of the left circle as Linden and Virtue fight for the puck. Krause has it, drives it around behind the net. Left to Jeff Sebastian. He fires it the length of the ice. It'll be icing when Virtue gets back for it. Gets the touch icing call with 16:06 on the clock. Americans leading 1-0. We'll be back right after this. Face-off, the puck stolen by Jason Bowen. He gets it to Levins, who takes a shot. Defoe makes a save. And the puck is covered up in front of the Portland net. Face-off will come in the left circle as you look on from center ice. Kirk Williams and Tony out at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Tri-City Americans leading Portland Winterhawks 1-0 on AM 1340 KTCR. Degner on the face-off with Scott Meiden. This time Degner wins it. Bowen takes his shot out to Levins. Levins drives on a screen. Defoe, but he misses the puck of the net to the right side. Fleetwood brings it up. Fleetwood goes left now. Finds Meiden in the slot. Shot save Kozuback. Puck comes off the wall to Levins. Levins steering it right out to Degner. Degner makes a move, but he's stood up by Kelly Harris. Loose puck in the Portland zone. Driven back to the blue line. Picked up by Meiden. Finds Fleetwood. Breaking through center ice, but it's knocked down by Jeff Fancy. Fancy losing it to Ruark. Now Fancy picks it up again. Fancy, blue line as Levins is offside as Fancy got stood up right at the blue line.
Well, the premier goaltending matchup, which the Tri-City Americans fans have wanted to see all season long. Byron Defoe between the pipes for the Portland Winterhawks, 10-16-3. He's got a 4.66 goals against average. Going against Olaf Kolzig, 13-14-1. He's got a 4.84 goals against. Both of them draft choices of the Washington Capitals.
In fact, they were the first two draft choices of the Capitals last year. Puck shot through neutral ice. Sakic losing it. Back to Sakic. Chopped away by the Winterhawks. Picked up by McNutt. McNutt up along the left wing boards for Sakic. Tried to get it right back to McNutt. Couldn't. But Farrell picks it up. Young dives in on Farrell. Farrell in his own zone. Gets it out now to McNutt. McNutt can't handle the pass. McNutt will have to wheel behind the net to get away from Cam Daniluk. Up along the boards now to Sakic. Sakic give and go with Dirksen. Back out front. Sakic with it. Red line. Sakic blue line. Drops it in the right corner, finds Dirksen up front. Dirksen a drive, hits a stick. Puck goes to the right corner. Sakic there, picked up by McNutt. Whoop! Drives it back to the blue line, and Dirksen has to shoot it back in from neutral ice. The Americans clear. Fry goes in after it behind his own net. Fry along the wall, hits the referee, but the loose puck picked up by the Winterhawks. Rink-wide pass for Young. He kicks it into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig comes out. He'll leave it behind the net for Terrence Sandwith. Sandwith getting his first shift of the night up along the right wing boards. Sandwith faces up with Krause. Krause slaps the puck away, and it was touched by a Winterhawk in the Portland zone. They'll face it off, or in the Portland bench rather. It'll be faced off just outside the Winterhawk blue line.
Good to see Terrence Sandwith back on the ice as he kind of saw limited action against Victoria last Sunday evening with a sprained wrist. It's not really sprained, it was bruised. And he's back out there now. Had a chance to work it out all week long during practice. And it's good to see big number 7 back out there.
Keith Dorchak doing a little work on his equipment. He's ready to go now. He will take the draw. Dorchak has Harrison to his right and Brian Gorley to his left. For the Americans, Levins with Spenrath left and Lindsay to the right as Virtue drives the puck into the Portland zone. Spenrath charges in on Defoe, but he plays it out to Gorley. Picked up there by Virtue. Virtue shot knocked down out front by the Winterhawks. Picked up by Krause. Krause loses it to Spenrath. He drives it back into the Portland zone. Picked up by Sebastian. Lindsay's all over Sebastian. And now the Winterhawks drive it out of play right over their bench or onto their bench. People diving for cover. 13:59 to go. First period. Tri-Cities Coliseum.
You know, the Portland Winterhawks again are just points away from being eliminated from the playoffs for the second time in their career, in their tenure at the Memorial Coliseum in Portland. The only coach they've had, the man you see right across there, Ken Hodge, 17 years in the WHL.
The smiling one. Top of the right circle on the faceoff. Quick shot taken by Levin. Saved Defoe. Out to Krause. Krause, headman pass for Dorchak. Dorchak goes right. Harrison breaking in, and Kolzig shoots for the short side. Kolzig made the save. Harrison throws it out into the slot, but it's steered away by the Americans. Here comes Virtue up the left wing boards. Virtue behind Lindsay. Goes left to Billy Lindsay at the left circle. Lindsay to Levins. Levins along the wall. These are for Spenrath. Spenner back up front now to Sandwith. Sandwith rotates into the slot. Poke checked away by the Winterhawks. Gorley, 2-on-1. Gorley tried to get it up front to Dorchak. Saved by the Americans. Shot. They say counted. It went in over Kolzig's shoulder as the puck and the play just crashed all over Ole Kolzig. Spenrath and Sandwith wind up on top of Kolzig, and the Winterhawks able to shovel it in around over Kolzig's right shoulder.
I believe they're going to be giving that to Brian Gorley as he was down in there poking at it. And Dean Dorchak was also down there. It first off started down at the Portland Winterhawks blue line as it was given up. And they had the Americans on the shift change, took it up 2-0. Finally, an American off the bench jumped in there, and it looks as if Brad Harrison gets the marker.
Dorchak and Gorley on the assist. Winterhawks pick up another loose puck. Innes breaks in. This time he's taken off by Jeff Fancy. Fancy slaps it off the glass. Barnes racing back for it with Mike Ruark. Ruark driving it off the wall to Sebastian. Stolen away by Nibbs. Nibbs and Barnes in the zone. Nibbs right circle. Starts back up along the wall. Back to the hash mark. Goes low for Rennie. Dogger with it. Shoots it in beside the net, trying to get it to Barnes, but Innes is there. Now Rennie and Nibbs into the corner. Rennie trying to get it loose. Gets it across the slot. Nobody can get to it. This time Barnes goes after Harris. Harris slaps at it. Barnes slaps at him. And Nibbs ties Linden up along the wall. Linden and Innes. But Fancy is there. Whoop, got by Fancy. Foot races on. Leahy going back on Scherstenka. And Fancy will take him off the play. Nibbs headman pass to Barnes. Barnes in the left circle. Barnes wheels around traffic. Barnes beats Meiden. Shot saved. Defoe as Barnes crunches Rick Fry right in front of the Portland goalie. That tough? That tough enough for you?
Stewie Barnes putting the number 14 on number 14. Rick Fry, the Rock. And he buried him over Byron Defoe. And, of course, the fans here got a little kick out of that. And Stewie Barnes doesn't usually throw the elbow or the shoulder pads into too many people, and especially against a former teammate.
1-1 tie here in the first period as the Winterhawks get their answering marker at the 6:38 point. Face off right circle, Meiden and McNutt in the Portland zone. Meiden wins the draw. Winterhawks with it. Kim Deck behind the net. Fires it out front to Meiden. Meiden one-on-one with Dirksen. Man catching up. Meiden in the slot. Save Kolzig. Goes off to the left side to Slemko. Slemko drives it in behind the nets. Picked up there by the Americans. Here comes McNutt. McNutt has Sakic and Reeves catching up. McNutt a drive. Went for the long side. Comes off the wall. It's got by Sakic. Cut down by Dirksen. Chopped at. Winterhawks out to neutral ice. But Jakes is there to drive it back into the Portland zone. Fry goes back for it. The Rock goes left. Portland up along the left wing boards. Reeves is there to cut off the play around Slemko. Stolen away by Sakic. Sakic with it. Muscled away from him, but Jakes is there. Takes a shot, goes to the left circle. Reeves drives it along the wall, turns, takes a shot, save Defoe, and they'll cover it up right there. Reeves pulled that one off the wall, just wheeled and let one fly, but Byron Defoe stayed with it all the way. 11:30 to go in the first period here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Action tomorrow night from Spokane Coliseum. The last time the Americans have to go into that place this year, I think, isn't it?
And you're absolutely right. You got it.
Black and Barnes in the face-off. Barnes wins the draw, but Krause controls the puck. In the right corner, Barnes is there to steal it away. Take it away from him by the Winterhawks. Steered away from Portland by Rennie as Daniluk lost it to Rennie. Now Nibbs and Barnes behind the net. Barnes digging for it. Krause slaps it away, but it hits Rennie right in the backside. Picked up now by the Winterhawks, Jamie Black. Or Harris, or Sebastian, rather. Sebastian, blue line, gets around Sandwith, walks in, shoots, scores! Sebastian. Trent Sandwith needs to go find parts of his wearing apparel on that one, as Sebastian just took him to the cleaners.
Jeff Sebastian went right from the blue line all the way in, took his big body and pushed Taran Sandwith right out of the way at the top of the circle. Seeing the opening, he took advantage of it, went straight in on Ole Kolzig and popped the puck right between the pads, and it slithered across the line. And Portland has answered back with 2 goals and now take the lead 2-1.
11:04 to go in the first period. 8:56 the time of the Portland goal. Sebastian, and it may be unassisted. He went all the way himself. Now Levins and Bowen play catch with the puck. Finally, Levins drives it into the Portland zone. In behind the net goes Kelly Harris. Harris taken down by Degner. Bowen keeping it in play, down to Degner. Degner throws it out front. Bowen and Levins unable to get the job done. Out to neutral ice. Krause getting the assist on the Winterhawk goal. So read it, Sebastian from Krause at 8:56. As Levins and Bowen go into the corner. Bowen with it out to Levins. Levins turns, shoots, and Defoe steers it away. Into the left corner, Gorley. Gorley, quick headman pass to Brad Harrison, right side to Dorchak. Dorchak poke checked away by Fancy. Dorchak and Fancy into the corner. Bowen gets crunched in the corner hard. And Bowen turns right around. And now Fancy's going to take a piece of the Winterhawk player. That's Harrison, I believe. Now we're going to have going. Now we got 3 or 4 of them going. As,
lots of sticks are up.
See who's that's Jason Bowen in there grabbing a piece of Rick Fry. They've got
Leahy's down there for Portland.
Levins pinned to the wall. Now he steps out of there. Boy, that was about as close to a line brawl as you'd want to see, Tony, without actually getting one started.
Well, would you say, Kirk, that Portland might be a little frustrated after that whipping they had, that St. Valentine's Day massacre, which we saw the sign?
Have to stand there and watch. Look at that sign. Sign up there in section U says St. Valentine's Day massacre. Well, let's see. Fry and Harrison are gone. This will take a minute to sort out, so we'll take a quick break with Portland leading 2-1.
Back in the 50s when I grew up, you could walk down a dark street. You can't do that anymore.
Would you help someone? Should you help someone? And if you did help someone, what would you expect the risks to be?
The reason the battle of the sexes is appropriate today, as it will be tomorrow, is that it's never going to be won. There's too much fraternization with the enemy.
Communication, that's our business on KTCR.
Tri-Cities number 20, Jeff Fancy, 2 minutes for high sticking. Number 29, Jason Bowen, 2 minutes for roughing. Those penalties at 9:46.
Well, you hear all of it. Basically, 4 coincidental minors. The Americans bring the puck through the neutral zone. Penalty coming against the Winterhawks. And this one will go, I think, against Jeff Sebastian. The signal is roughing. I believe Sebastian's going to get that one.
I see.
Nope, Greg Leahy.
The captain, Greg Leahy, will take the bench. This will give the Tri-City Americans their first power play of the evening. The Americans so far this season, 116 for 327. That's 35.4%. That is number 1 in the league on the power play.
Penalty comes at the 10-10 mark, first period. Sakic, Spenrath, Barnes, Dirksen, and Kyle Reeves. So it'll be Barnes and Dirksen at the point. Sakic, Spenrath, and Reeves, the forwards for the Americans. Innes, Sebastian, Gorley, and Rob Krause, the penalty killers for the Winterhawks. Sakic easily wins the draw. Rink-wide pass for Reeves. Goes into the right corner. Reeves and Krause go in hard. Reeves belting Krause along the wall. Puck driven back to Reeves. Has it along the left hash mark. High in the air. It'll be caught by Defoe, and he'll just keep it out of play. Faceoff will come in the left circle, Winterhawk zone. That's Byron Defoe's right hand or stick side.
Last time the Americans played the Portland Winterhawks, they were shut out on the power play, 0 for 5, and that was up in Portland on the 17th of January.
Faceoff left circle, Tri-City or Portland zone. Now Innes gets thumbed out, and in will come Brian Gorley to take the draw. The Americans win it. Sakic, Dirksen with the puck at the left point. Goes down low in the right corner for Reeves. Overskated by Reeves. Spenrath picks it up. The Winterhawks are there. Kept in play by Dirksen. Dirksen driving it into the corner right. Sebastian smashed by Spenrath as Reeves gets the puck. Shot back along the wall. Reeves knocks it down. Left beside the net for Spenrath. They try to go to the right side for Sakic, but Sebastian is there this time to drive it the length of the ice. Back into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig is there. He'll lay it off to Barnes. Barnes wheels, brings it up the middle. Right straight up the middle. Barnes working on Biden, drives it into the left corner. Rebound comes back out. Winterhawks Ruark tries to drive it out of there. He does. Gets it by Barnes. This time it's Dirksen going back with Slemko watching him. Dirksen makes the long pass to Barnes up the left wing boards. Barnes breaks in at the blue line. Barnes goes right to Sakic. Sakic right back up front. Dirksen left. Reeves on the doorstep. Reeves starts in, gets behind Defoe. They try to jam it in. Barnes, Spenrath, Reeves. Sticks are up as Ruark punches Reeves.
There's a stick that went underneath Spenrath.
And Defoe's frantically hanging on to the puck. Boy, this is going to get kind of fractious before it's over, Tony.
Exactly right, Kirk, as these two teams are really, the Americans know how important this game is to keep their streak going and to keep their momentum going into this last triple of the season. However, the Portland Winterhawks need the momentum as well to catch Spokane for that 4th and final playoff spot.
Reeves and Ruart are both going to go. Coincidental roughing minors, I believe. And the Americans' power play will continue. 40 seconds left.
Penalty to number 3, Mike Ruart. 2 minutes for roughing. Tri-Cities penalty to number 17, Kyle Reeves. 2 minutes for roughing at 11:30.
Americans on their first power play of the night with the man advantage. Now it'll be Nibs and Farrell at the point. McNutt, Levins, and Lindsay are the forwards. McNutt will face off against Scott Meiden. Now McNutt's going to get thumbed, and in will come Levins to take the draw. Levins against Meiden. 8.5 minutes to play, first period. Tri-Cities Coliseum. Face-off, won by Levins. Picked up by Krause, though, but McNutt jumps on Krause. McNutt drives it out along the wall. Kept in play by Farrell at the blue line. Goes low, finds McNutt. McNutt, right circle, shoots, save Defoe, rebound. Shot once, twice, and Defoe dimes on the puck as Meiden tries to tie up Levins. And the face-off will come again in the Winterhawk zone.
Portland Winterhawks really like to collapse and protect their netminders as they send all the big boys down in there to the slot area to try to push the Americans out. That's one thing you're going to see. Defoe is a great goaltender, will watch the rebounds, but he'll also have the backup help with his big blue liners.
Face-off, right circle, won by the Americans. Farrell with it, goes to Lindsay at the right hash marks. Back up to Farrell. Farrell, a blast from up the right point. Gets beside the net. Nibs drives it back to McNutt. McNutt back to Calvin Nibs. Nibs a shot, hits a skate. In behind the net. Lindsay will wrap it around as McNutt is driven off the play. Levins into the slot. Back up front, Farrell. Farrell fires it in. Try to get the redirect, but it hit a skate. Back to Lindsay. Power play is over. Back out to the neutral zone. Farrell and the Americans will change shifts. Picked up by Levins. Leahy's back on the ice. Levins with it. Penalty coming against the Winterhawks. Kolzig is off. Lindsay is just decked by the Winterhawks, and now they get the play stopped. Lindsay was just decked by Leahy,
and we've got another a misconduct was just called, and it looks as if Rob Krause has just bought himself a misconduct.
He got the penalty and the misconduct. Now he's having a little air out there. 12:29 the time of the penalty.
That was what Rob was really worried about tonight, is that he knew the excitement and the pressure would get to him, and Rob's a very emotional player. And when he came into the contest tonight, he knew that he would have to really watch what he was doing.
Krause getting 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Another power play for the Americans. That would be Tri-City's second power play of the night. 0 for 1 on the first one, but Tri-Cities with a shorthander to start the scoring. Serving the penalty for Krause will be number 23, Cam Daniluk. It is Sakic with Rennie and Spenrath, Dirksen and Barnes at the points. Sakic and Meiden on the face-off outside the Portland blue line. Won by Meiden, driven out to neutral ice, and Dirksen will bring it right back. Rink-wide pass for Barnes. Whoop, cut away from Barnes. Picked up there by Fleetwood, but knocked away from Fleetwood by the Americans. Back to Barnes. Barnes drives it back to Kolzig. Kolzig will stop it, leave it for Dirksen, and Dirksen will bring it up. Dirksen up along the wall to Sakic. Sakic makes the neat pass, tried to get it to Barnes, gets it back into the zone. The Winterhawks there to cut it off and drive it back into the Tri-City zone. Good defensive play by the Winterhawks that time as Dirksen steps up beside the net. Dirksen up along the wall left to Barnes. Barnes being worked on by Fleetwood. Stood up at the blue line. Fry slaps it away. Meiden back to look at Dirksen. Rink-wide pass right side to Sakic. Back now to Dirksen. Poke checked away. Meiden picks it up. Dirksen gets it right back. Swings it right to Rennie. Rennie up the right wing. Rennie into the Portland zone. Cut off by Sebastian and fired out of play. Well, the Americans have wasted 57 seconds of that power play without significantly penetrating the Portland blue line.
They went in one time, and it was about 4 feet, and it ended up being poke check back over the blue line. The Portland Winterhawks sending out 2 men to try to really get things started, as they are really having quite a success rate so far on the Americans' power play. 1:03 remaining in the extra man for the Americans.
Tri-City's 0 for 1 on power plays so far. Portland 0 for 1. Americans in their midway in their second one. And Innes wins the draw, takes control of the puck at the neutral zone. Drives it back into his own zone for Sebastian, along the wall for Leahy. Back to Sebastian. Now back out into the neutral zone, into the Tri-City zone, back for Jakes. Steve Jakes brings it straight up the middle. Jakes goes left. McNutt breakaway. Drop pass for Levins as the Winterhawks react quickly. Levins out to Virtue at the point. Levins a shot, save. Picked up by McNutt, wheels around, finds a man, shot by Nibbs. Save as McNutt drives it back up to Jakes. Jakes fires it back in. Levins redirect, save. And Nibbs had the rebound, couldn't get it to go. Virtue with it. Leaves it for Levins. Back to Terry Virtue. Goes low to Nibbs. Back to Virtue. Up front to Jakes. Jakes down the slot. Fires it. Redirected by Nibbs, but it was high in the air, and the Winterhawks get rid of it. 14 seconds left in the power play. Back into the Portland zone. Levins with it. Leaves it for Virtue along the wall. Virtue out to McNutt. Slapped away by the Winterhawks. Back to neutral ice. Nibbs with it. Nibbs left. Virtue. Virtue goes right for Levins. Into the corner. Right side. Deck picks up the puck. He's a former Kamloops Blazer. Deck out to Harrison. Bang! Harrison gets buried by Levins and McNutt. Cross ice pass for Fry. Fry drives it out. Power play's over to Levins along the right wing boards. Levins there. Fires it into the Portland zone. Broken stick on the ice. Defoe leaves it there. Spenrath smacks Deck. Loose puck picked up by Dirksen. Dirksen walks in, finds Barnes. Barnes right doorstep. Backhand scores! Stu Barnes doing his magic.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a guy that knows what to do with the puck when he's right around the net. As Stewie Barnes was taking the puck, it was going off to Defoe's right side. As Defoe got up and was trying to get his balance, he scooted off to his right side, anticipating Stewie to come around and try to stuff it. Well, while Stewie watched him get up and go to the right side, Stu changed gears, went back to the left, came around, shoved it home, and the Americans have tied it up 2-apiece.
Time of the goal, 15:05.
Second goal! Scored by number 14, Stu. His 35th goal of the year. The assist to number 9, Devin Dirksen. At 15:05.
Winterhawks win the draw. Sebastian with it up along the wall to Slemko. Stolen away from him by Barnes. Barnes cross ice left to Farrell. Farrell up along the wall. Tried to headman Spenrath. Stolen away by Meiden. Back for it is Harris for the Winterhawks. Drives it back through the neutral zone. Picked up by Farrell. Farrell tries to lay it off to Barnes. This time it's poked around by the Winterhawks, and Spenrath will take it in. Spenrath with Barnes in the slot. Shoots! Save! Loose puck knocked away by Defoe. Spenrath had Barnes wide open on the doorstep. This time Spenrath with it. Gets it to Barnes beside the net. Barnes under pressure. Sebastian takes the puck away. Barnes having a little word with the referee. Sebastian out to the right side. Fleetwood. Fleetwood works around Farrell. Wheels in front. Kolzig stones him cold. Backhand shot by Slemko. Kolzig makes the save. And the Americans, Farrell in behind the net off the glass to Spenrath. Whoop, hit him right in the backside. Back to Farrell. Loose puck. Picked up by Meiden. Meiden drives it in beside the net. Gets buried. Kolzig pokes away from Fleetwood. Fleetwood right side. Rennie comes out in front of him. Loose puck in the slot. Kolzig laying sprawled across the slot as Barnes takes Daniluk into the cheap seats.
Boy, I tell you what, Stewie is really using the body tonight.
Yeah, he is. Well, Winnipeg wanted him to play a more physical game, and he certainly has.
Coming up in my first intermission guest will be Mr. Doug Barnes, Stu's dad. He'll be up here. We'll talk a little bit about the...
Ask Doug about the shot, the puck shoot shot he took in Prince Albert.
I will ask
him. Stewie said he was embarrassed. 2-2 tie, 3:47 to go, first period. Face off left circle. Daniluk in the Tri-City zone. Daniluk and Degner on the face off. Loose puck beside the net, goes into the corner. Daniluk driving Scherstenka into the corner. Now down goes Daniluk. Loose puck picked up by Jakes. Jakes, nice pass to Levins. Levins, headman pass for Bowen. Knocked away by the Winterhawks, driven back in by Degner. Off of Levins' skate. Picked up there by Young. Young and Degner. Degner with the puck, losing it to Ruark and Young. Loose puck now picked up by Scherstenka. Cross ice for Levins. Levins hauled down at the blue line. And it's picked up by the Winterhawks. Fry driving it out into the neutral zone. It'll be icing unless it runs out of gas. Kolzig will play it out to Jakes along the right wing boards. Jakes gets a pretty good hit there from Daniluk. Back out to Sebastian. Backhand pass cut down by Scherstenka. Finds Bowen. Bowen wheels. Headman pass left to Reeves. Reeves fires it into the corner. Bowen goes in after it. Belts Sebastian. Bowen tried to get it out to Reeves, but Young is there. Young up along the right wing. Gets by Virtue as Jamie Black picks up the puck. Jamie Black walks in on Jakes. Tries to shoot it across the slot. He does. Deck takes it into the left corner. Deck out front. Shot taken up front. Knocked away by Virtue. That was Jamie Linden taking the shot. It'll be icing. Nope, Defoe will play it as Reeves is diving in on Defoe. Out off the stick of Leahy to Innes. Great open ice hit there by Virtue as he takes Innes off the planet. Loose puck will be picked up by Linden. Linden, top of the left circle. Linden wheels around Dirks and belts him. Linden makes the pass to Leahy. Winterhawks drive it in beside the Americans' net. Kolzig stops it. We'll leave it for McNutt. Off to the right side. Virtue drives it around to Sakic. Sakic out into the neutral zone. Breakaway pass for Reeves, but Reeves won't get to it. No, he does. Right, ties him up, goes to the back end. Scored! Reeves, how it went in, I don't know, but it went in. Kyle Reeves.
The Tri-City Americans leading goal getter Kyle Reeves as he nets goal number 47 on the season as he went around the Portland defenseman with the extra effort. He was able to take the shot. I believe it bounced right off the left pad of Byron Defoe, and it squiggled across the line. Regardless how it got there, it counts. The Americans take the lead 3-2.
Well, and Rick Fry was just draped all over Kyle Reeves. And Rick Fry is a big, strong defenseman. The Rock goes 6 foot, 190 pounds. Former Tri-City American. He's out of Calgary, a 19-year-old in his 6th year in the league. Reeves getting the Americans' 3rd goal. Puck shot into the Tri-City zone. Back out to neutral ice. Now headman pass for Barnes, knocked away by the Winterhawks, picked up by Gorley. Reeves unassisted on the goal. Puck goes in left of the Tri-City's net. Kolzig pokes at it. Jakes goes in behind. Fires it out along the wall to Nibs. Back to Jakes behind the net. Jakes steps up, drills one for Barnes. Off the glass, Barnes will chase it into the Portland zone. Defoe will have to play it as Barnes takes a whack at him. Now Nibs with it out front for Rennie. Loose puck. Barnes gets to it. Barnes turns, shoots, save Defoe. And with Nibs cruising in to take the rebound, Defoe wisely covers up.
Tim Deck all over Stewie Barnes right there as Stu Barnes breaks away. And the puck is just right out in front of Defoe. And I'll tell you, Stewie is playing with some intensity tonight. He knows Dad's watching him tonight.
Well, and Kyle Reeves playing with great intensity as well. An unassisted goal, the Americans' 3rd one, comes at 18:01. Minute 18 to go in the first period here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Face-off won by Barnes over Meiden. But Meiden drives it along the wall. Gets it off the wall now out to Slemko, to Fleetwood, and Rennie is there to take it away from Fleetwood. Backhand pass picked up by Slemko. Shot save Kolzig. Off Kolzig's stick to the right side to Nibs. Picked up by Nibs. 1 minute to go. Nibs out to neutral ice. Ruark goes back for the Winterhawks. Almost over skates it. Slemko gets popped by Virtue, but the puck goes back into the Tri-City zone. This time picked up by Rennie. Rennie goes left. Stolen away from him by number 18, Brent Fleetwood. Fleetwood out to neutral ice. Cut down by Rennie. 40 seconds to go. Here comes the Dogger. Backhand pass. With a penalty coming, Kolzig leaves the ice. Fry gets to it. And the penalty will go against the Winterhawks as Barnes belts Fry. Now Jamie Linden wants to take a piece of Barnes.
Scotty Meiden took a swipe at him as well. As Stu Barnes will probably be X'd off in the locker room chalkboard as a man to go after in the 2nd period.
I would think that Jamie Linden would be well advised. Now Fry is gone.
And the Americans are also being assessed a penalty as well. No bodies over there, but the door is open. Now it is shut, so it will be just against the Portland Winterhawks so far.
Well, Ruart goes to the penalty box. Fry left the ice. And Ruart gets...
Penalty number 3, Mike Ruart, 2 minutes for slashing. Portland Winterhawk penalty to number 14, Rick Fry, also 2 minutes for slashing at 19:26.
Well, that gives the Americans a 5-on-3. A great opportunity to pop a couple of them home here.
34 seconds remaining in this period. If for some reason the Americans do not get one, that means those 2 penalties will go into the next period.
Face off into the right corner, picked up by Fry. Fry losing it, or Reeves rather, losing it, gets it back. Right side, Sakic scores! Brian Sakic! Oh, what a job by Brian Sakic. He turned Byron Defoe inside out. That's the experience of Brian Sakic as he was able to take the puck and make Byron Defoe commit first. Brian Sakic pops in his 19th goal on the power play this season. As the Americans extend the lead now to 2, they lead it 4-2 with 25 seconds remaining in the period. Well, and Kyle Reeves gets another marker there.
Sakic!
Reeves will get an assist.
40th goal of the year! Leads an assist to number 17, Kyle Reeves! A power play!
Minute 51 remaining, and the Americans may have put Portland on its back right here. With goals at 15:05, 18:01, and 19:35. Americans lead 4-2. Jakes with the puck in the neutral zone. 20 seconds left in the period. Jakes across the blue line. Enos poke checks it away. Spinrath tries to get it. Can't. It's shot back into the Tri-City zone. Barnes wheels back for it. Barnes will go back to get it. 5 seconds left in the period. Barnes out along the wall to Spinrath. Spinrath in traffic, taken down at center ice. Loose puck, and the period ends with the Americans leading 4-2 over the Portland Winterhawks. And a power play to continue into the second period.
Being sponsored by Butler's Big and Tall, the fashion source for men of dimension at Best Plaza in Kennewick.
Quick shot on the faceoff by Barnes as he carries it into the Portland zone. Blocked out front, back to Barnes. Americans' power play continues. This is power play number 4 for the Tri-City Americans. Now Sakic at the blue line, goes left to Barnes. Barnes left circle, starts down low, taken off the play by Maiden, but Sakic is there. Sakic tried to force it into the slot, gets it right back. Sakic with it, looking in, goes low, finds Reeves, shoots, save, shot again, another save. And the puck is chopped loose. It's Dean Intwort between the pipes for the Winterhawks. As the puck is picked up out front by Sakic, right to Barnes. Back to Sakic at the right hash mark, out to Barnes. Barnes goes left, finds Reeves. Reeves shot, save, Intwort, another shot. This time slid across the slot, poked away. Out to Barnes. The Americans will reset one more time. Barnes right circle. Barnes rink wide. Reeves one time to missed it. Reeves with it, slides it into Spinrath, and he had it poked away as it goes right across the slot. Now Barnes with it, beats Slemko. Barnes in the slot, but Fry takes Barnes off the play. Puck goes into the corner left. Picked up by Barnes again as he gets away from Fry. Out to Reeves. Back to Jakes in the circle. A shot goes right of the net. Sakic back to Barnes behind the net. Barnes steps out, finds Spenrath in the slot. A little hot over his stick. 3 seconds left in power play. Picked up by Reeves. Reeves, Spenrath, shot, save. Intwort, and he falls on it. Play is stopped right there. Dean Intwort coming up big on that one.
Dean Intwort coming in for Byron Defoe to take over for him. Byron Defoe leaves with 19 shots on him, and he gave up 4 Americans goals, so 15 saves for him tonight. Dean Intwort comes in with a record of 7-15-0. He's played 1,304 minutes in this season so far, a 6.12 goals against average, and his save percentage is right at 85%.
Americans leading 4-2. Farrell, left point, his shot, knocked away, rebound by Bowen. Bowen can't get it done. Nice save by Intwort again. Puck shot into the slot. Winterhawks, Ruark clears it. Back forward is Farrell. Farrell in his own zone. Finds Devin Dirksen. Dirksen up the left wing boards. Dirksen ahead to Bowen. Bowen finds Levins. Levins left circle. Goes into the corner hard. Levins is crunched by the Winterhawks. Kim Deck back out to the left point. Dirksen backhanding it. Knocked away by Judson Innes. Innes finds Leahy breaking in for the left side. Farrell jumps on Leahy as they go into the corner. Degner, Leahy, Farrell. Puck's loose along the wall. Degner trying to dig it out behind the Americans' net. And it's frozen there.
I'm really kind of surprised that Portland isn't coming out and using the body a little bit more. I'm really surprised, actually, because right there, too, Portland Winterhawks really held up as the puck went deep into the American zone, and they allowed the Tri-City Americans to catch up on it. That's not something that you want to do. You want to throw the body out early to the Americans. It has a tendency to wake them up a little bit, but there's that sign again.
St. Valentine's Day Portland Massacre. Victoria 8, Portland 5. Good folks up in Section T. Face off left circle. Jamie Black in the Tri-City zone against Stu Barnes. Black, 17-year-old rookie from Calgary, 5'11", 170 pounds. Byron Defoe on the bench for the Winterhawks now. Puck comes up to Harris. Left circle. Shot taken up front. Hits Young in his skate. Loose puck. Fancy goes after it. Fancy finds Barnes up the left wing boards. Barnes beats Fry. 2-on-1 with Fancy. Barnes taken off as he makes a move across the slot. Back out to the neutral zone. Fancy backward. Actually, that was Virtue breaking in. Now Fancy makes a pass into the Portland zone. Intwort will leave it beside the net for Harris. Harris driving it around to Daniluk. Daniluk losing it to Virtue. Back behind the net to Barnes. Barnes steps out the right side. Nope, he's going to throw it out right up front. Poked at by the Americans. Can't get a shot away. Now Rennie from the right circle. Drives it in behind the net. Barnes has it again. Barnes out front. Tried to find Fancy. Fancy gets it in the slot. Loose puck. Chopped at. Everybody overskated it. Picked up by Steve Young. Young behind the net. He gets crashed by Calvin Nibbs. And the puck's out to the neutral zone for Fancy. Fancy and Virtue, the defense pair, with Barnes's line. Barnes with Rennie and Nibbs. Winterhawks drive it around the dashboard. Hits an Americans player, Blishin, and they'll face it off in the Portland zone.
What a great combination is Stewie Barnes and Calvin Nibbs and Steve Rennie on the same line tonight.
Boy.
There's some firepower for you. There's two guys that'll work real hard, two forwards, and then you got a center man that can dish it off just about to anybody. And that is a very high-scoring line. And one of the things that you see Stewie Barnes do so well is he decoys 3 Portland Winterhawks down there when he's behind the net. The netminder and the 2 defensemen. And that just leaves up about 4 or 5 guys to run right through the middle anytime they want.
Face-off just outside the Portland blue line. Won by the Winterhawks. Out to neutral ice. Gorley gets it ahead to Dorchak. Right for Harrison, and it's overskated by Harrison. The Americans poke it away. Loose puck, neutral ice. Out to Dorchak. Dorchak wheels in. 2-on-2 now, 2-on-3 as the puck goes behind the net. Picked up by Dorchak. Throws it out in the slot. Gorley gets a shot. Save Kolzik. Sherstenko whacks at it. Now it's out to neutral ice. Deck will go back for the Winterhawks to get it and bring it back. Deck and Sebastian back for the puck. This time Deck throws it right off Reeves' backside. Finds Sakic. Sakic shoots to the long side. Misses. Sherstenko there. He drives it in behind the net. This time McNutt and Sakic go after the puck. Both of them get buried, and the Winterhawks drive it out to Gorley along the left wing boards. Gorley head to Sebastian. Backhand pass to Harrison. Drop for Dorchak. Sebastian in the right circle. Puck goes to the right side. Sherstenko with it. Off the wall. Sherstenko. Headman pass for Reeves. Cut down there. Sakic goes after it. and it's fired right back. Jakes gets it at the neutral zone, at the red line. Jakes brings it up. Jakes' shot. Save Inchworth. Penalty coming. And the Winterhawks take the puck. But a penalty coming against the Portland Winterhawks.
Jakes was taken down with a slash, and this penalty will be going against the Portland Winterhawks as number 25 or 26 checked out is Kelly Harris. He'll be sitting down and give the Americans another power play, their 5th of the evening. And
against only one for the Winterhawks.
That's one thing that I'm sure Ken Hodge does not want to see is the number 1 power play team out there going against the 2nd, 3rd, 4th to the last in the league as far as penalty
Tony,
killing.
could it be that someone's getting homered in this building besides the Americans?
I just thought I'd ask.
15:36 to go, left circle. That's what's supposed to happen. Up front, Dirksen, left circle, goes down left to Barnes. Barnes at the left hash mark. Spenrath, one time it in the slot, poked away by the Winterhawks. Fired out to neutral ice, now back into the Tri-City zone. Ricochets off the wall, and Kozuback will leave it for Dirksen. Dirksen will step out. Makes the pass straight up the middle to Sakic. Sakic finds Reeves. Whoop. Kyle couldn't get turned on it in time. Reeves picks it up behind the net. Kyle Reeves in the right circle. Wall pass for Sakic. Winterhawks, Maiden cuts it off. Dirksen takes it away from him. Out to Slemko, chopped away. And Barnes will go back to take it away from Maiden. Barnes in behind the net. Plays it off his skate. Maiden finally gets to him. But Barnes will get the puck. Well, it's tied up along the boards. Now it comes off to Sakic. As Barnes turns around and gives Maiden a shot right in the chops. Now they're having quite a little yip-yap. Barnes hasn't had... Oh, and Maiden is all over Barnes. Now Barnes is really hot. Barnes is ready to go for Maiden. Barnes hasn't had his fight for the year yet. And, boy, he is hot. The linesmen have collected both of them, and they're still trying to get at each other. That is not a friendly confrontation. Those two, and Stu Barnes is still airing Maiden out. Gloves, sticks, helmets all over the ice.
Stewie ripped the old helmet right off. He took the bucket right off, and he threw it down. He said, let's go. Drop the gloves.
Well, they clean up the fight. Will take time out with the score. Americans 4, Portland 2. Back after this.
Go on, shoot! Shoot, shoot!
The dynamite late night movie will
At Cinemax, we'll never hack up your favorite movies. We like the Hollywood greats just the way they are. No commercials, no cuts. We want to keep the class in classic and keep the dog food, the steak knives, and the fish lures out. Cinemax. More movies, more choice, more classics.
Roughing Tri-City 72, number 14, Stu Barnes. 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for roughing, and a 10-minute misconduct at 5:17.
Well, and Maiden only got one penalty for roughing out of all of that. And that does not make anybody very happy in this building.
Well, I think what they're going to base it on is the fact that Stewie disrobed first. He basically pulled everything off and went at it.
Yep.
And he was really the one that really was going to start making things happen.
Well, that ends the Americans' 5th power play and gives the Winterhawks their 2nd of the night. So the teams will skate 4-on-4 now for 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Boy, what a blow, though. The Americans are without Stewie Barnes for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that could be serious.
Got some scores real quickly, Kurt, for you. Saskatoon 2, Lethbridge 2. That's in the 2nd period. Brandon 3, Swift Current 3. I believe that's the score I got. That's in the 3rd. And get this one, Kirk.
Yeah.
Kamloops 1, Victoria 1 in the 1st.
Really? Where's that being
played? That is being played in Kamloops tonight.
Wow. What happened to my scorebook? Oh, well. Back up front, Farrell. Farrell driving it into the Portland zone and behind the net for Inchworth. Inchworth leaving it there to Sebastian. Left to Rob Krause. Back to Jeff Sebastian. Sebastian can't handle the pass. McNutt jumps on it, but it's knocked away from him. Now Innes out to the neutral zone. 3-on-2. Left side, Krause. Krause hits the Jets. Goes around Dirksen, but the Americans able to poke it loose. Back to the neutral zone. Lindsay after Sebastian. Sebastian wheels. Makes the pass. Cross ice right. Finds Leahy. Loose puck picked up by Innes. That turned out to be a nice pass. Innes wheels. Brings it up on Farrell. Steps around the defenseman. Goes in behind the net. Dirksen belts Innes. McNutt crunching Leahy. Out front, Sebastian, a drive. Save Kozuback. Loose puck picked up by Steve McNutt. McNutt with it. Beside the net. Boy, McNutt is just being worked over by Leahy. Now here come the Americans. 4-on-3. Dirksen to the left point. Drop past Lindsay. Lindsay overskates the puck. Lindsay tied up along the wall. Leahy gets to it. Now in behind the net. Krause has it. Backhand to Leahy. Picked up by Dirksen. Dirksen backhands it toward the net as Sebastian ties him up. Winterhawks pick up the puck. They bring it up. Winterhawks with the man advantage. Now it comes to Krause. Krause's pass straight ahead to Harris. Poked in beside the net. Kozuback way out of the crease as he drives it around to the right point. Gorley cuts it off for Sebastian. Left to Krause. Whoop, Krause left it for Rennie. Rennie brings it up. Cross-ice pass to Nib. Jakes is there. Jakes takes it across the blue line. Finds Rennie. Loose puck. Jakes whacks at it. Sebastian gets it. Sebastian back in the neutral zone for the Winterhawks. 25 seconds to go. Rink wide pass right. Tried to find Gorley. Kozuback digs the puck off the wall. Gorley and Dorchak play catch with the puck. Now back out to Dorchak. Rink wide pass right to Ruark. From Rick Fry, but across the blue line. Out to Harrison. Harrison brings it in. Right side. Rennie's all over him. Takes him off the play. Loose puck picked up by Dorchak. Left Ruark. 1 second left in the power play. Save Kozuback on a shot by Ruark. Loose puck in the right corner. Rennie with it. Now picked up by the Winterhawks. Ruark. Gorley 2 shots. Kozuback makes the save. Big hit there by Bowen as he wrenched Harrison. Loose puck picked up by Bowen. 2-on-1 with Nibs. To Nibs in the slot. Loose puck picked up by Jake. Shot. Bowen couldn't get down to it as it went across on the rebound. Now Nibs wrenching Harrison. Out to Rennie. Rennie a drive. Drives it in beside the net. Bowen jumps on a loose puck. Bowen with it at the left hash mark. Bowen down to Rennie. Oop, it hit the referee and Fry is there. Drives it out into the neutral zone. The Americans putting on a lot of pressure as Virtue drives it back into the Portland zone. Winterhawks react. Shoot it back into the Tri-City zone. Kozuback has to save it. Quick pass out to Virtue as they catch Portland in a shift change. Virtue 3-on-3. Tried to leave it for Levins. Loose puck. Offside. What?
Yeah, that was an offside there, Kirk, as Terry Virtue tried to bring the puck in. He had Billy Lindsay off to his right side. Virtue with the drop back puts it right just over the blue line as he thought that Lindsay was going to pick up the drop back pass, pick it up and go around him as he was running interference. But unfortunately, Billy Lindsay didn't get the communication, went around the right side, down around, and Virtue drops the puck back behind, and Scotty Levins brings it back over for the offside.
Steve Bailey doing the trainer work for the Americans tonight with Dan Rupp down on the bench. Face off just outside the blue line, won by the Winterhawks in their own zone. Krause, quick pass straight up the middle, finds Steve Young, backhands into the Tri-City zone. Kozuback there will steer it around behind the net for Lindsay. Lindsay up the right wing boards now. Lindsay with Spenrath ahead. Great breakaway pass to Spenrath. Spenrath breaks in, goes right left. Oh! Greg Spenrath!
And here goes Lindsay, and they had the handshake out there. But Greg Spenrath taking the nice pass, the breakaway, and going straight down the ice, and he popped it right between the pads of Dean Entworth into the net. And the Americans take the lead, 5-2. Pretty play by the Americans.
Time of the goal, 8:26. In the second period, 5-2.
The Americans' fifth goal! Scored by number 27, Greg Spenrath! His 27th goal of the year! The assist to number 11, Bill Lindsay, and number 33, Olaf Kozuback!
Now Farrell with the puck, dumping it into the Portland zone. 5-2, Tri-City's leading. Puck shot out in the slot for Sakic. McNutt takes a whack at it, still loose. Reeves with it. Reeves trying to get it to Sakic. Comes loose, right corner. Sakic losing it to Ruark. Sakic pokes it away from Ruark now. Ruark, Maiden, Sakic, and Reeves as Reeves goes by and dumps Maiden. Loose puck around behind the net. Winterhawks try to bring it out. Picked up by Fleetwood. He drives it off the glass. Rink wide left to Slemko. Ryan Slemko, left circle, or in the left point. Loses it, makes a bad pass to Reeves. Reeves gets hit by Ruark. Sakic goes back in traffic to pick up the puck. Sakic ahead to McNutt. McNutt wheels. Rink wide pass left, Dirksen. Dirksen shoots! Save Entworth. Loose puck picked up with the Winterhawks. Driven around the boards. Farrell with it. Farrell slapping it down low for McNutt. McNutt. Ruark into the corner. He tries to drive it out. This time he gets it out to Fleetwood. Fleetwood 3-on-1 with Farrell in the middle. Goes left to Meiden. Back to Fleetwood. Shoots, save, Kozuback. And Farrell's there to bury his man. And the Americans have it. They turn right back up the ice. 3-on-3. What a play by Farrell to bury the Winterhawks standing on the doorstep. Now Jake shovels it back into the Portland zone. Winterhawks back forth. This is Deck up along the left wing now to Slemko. Ryan Slemko, his pass knocked down by Scherstanka. Scherstanka headman pass for Degner. But Jakes will have to go back and get it. Finds Scherstanka again in his own zone. Quick pass up the middle to Degner. Winterhawks break it up again. Daniluk popped by Jakes. And Scherstanka brings it up. Scherstanka gets a stick right in the face. He's hurt down on the ice. Dan Scherstanka slow to get up. Referee Hughes blows the whistle. Scherstanka caught a stick right square in the chops. Now Jake's over there to argue the case, and I think referee Hughes might have gotten it called.
Well, let's see what he's going to do here, because Danny Scherstanka definitely got a piece of lumber right in the chops.
He bled down there on the ice, too. He did the magic thing.
And it's a 5-minute major penalty being assessed against the Portland Winterhawks.
That's Cam Daniluk drawing the penalty.
And I believe he will get an automatic game because it was a stick infraction and a major besides. And I see, yes, he is being escorted off the ice. Daniluk is off, and what an opportunity for the Americans to pop in a couple extra markers.
Daniluk, 5 minutes for high sticking and an automatic game misconduct at 10:20.
Well, you could see Scherstanka react as Daniluk got him right in the lip as he came across the blue line. Scherstanka's head snapped back, and down he went. He will go see the seamstress down there in the Americans' dressing room.
You know, Kirk, the Americans have scored 5 or more goals 8 out of their last 10 games. Out of those 8, they are 7-1. And get this, Kirk, if they score 5 or more goals in one game, they are 25-8 on the season.
Wow. Spenrath and Judson Innes will face off. The Americans have Jakes and Dirksen at the points. Spenrath with Sakic and Reeves. For the Winterhawks, that'll be Sakic and Innes on the face-off. Sakic wins the draw. Loose puck. Back for it is Innes. Dirksen takes it away from him. Finds Brian Sakic. Sakic to Reeves. Reeves, right set up the middle left. Spenrath back to Reeves. Oh, he almost had it done. Out front, Sakic with a loose puck. And the Winterhawks able to get it shot back into the American zone. Kozuback brings it right back up to Devin Dirksen. Boy, what a chance. Now Innes steals the puck. One-on-one, shoot, save Kozuback. Puck goes into over the wall. Back up into the crowd, up into section, looks like section R over there. As, boy, the Americans with a great chance. Reeves streaking down the slot. Puck hit his stick, but he just wasn't quite able to direct it in.
Him and Spenrath going down 2-on-1 on that time, and that was a nice, pretty play. Then Sakic was there to pick up the rebound, and he was unable to pop it home. But, boy, the Americans are playing loose and fluid. These guys have got some rhythm going now.
Face-off right circle in the Tri-City zone. Americans with 5 players on the ice. Winterhawks with 4. 5-minute major. 4.5 minutes to go, and the major penalty against the Winterhawks. Ruark driving the puck in behind the net. Back for it is Nibs. Nibs goes behind the net to Virtue. Goes back to Nibs as the Winterhawks putting on a lot of forechecking pressure. Now McNutt and Nibs collide behind the net. McNutt makes the outlet pass to Virtue. Virtue up the left wing. Has Lindsay and Levins breaking in. Leaves it in the left corner for Levins. Levins with it being worked over there by Harris. Able to get the puck loose, though, to McNutt. McNutt goes low to Lindsay. Lindsay back up front to Terry Virtue. Virtue back to Lindsay. To Virtue, top of the slot, a drive, loose puck goes into the right corner. Whistle, penalties coming probably against the Americans as Levins and Harris. And now Ruark steps in to have a piece of Scott Levins. Levins still wants to go, and the linesman is directing him off the play. Now, Levins is going to do something really stupid and get himself in big trouble.
Well, the penalty will go against Scott Levins as he was inside the crease area, no doubt about it. And I'm sure that now they're going to be taking a look. Hughes is going to whistle. It looks like both of them. What a break. What a break for the Americans. If they get...
Boy, Levins is... Woo.
And maybe they're not going to. I saw Scotty Levins definitely inside the crease down there. And a slashing penalty will go
against Portland, I believe.
And the Portland door is still open. However, yes, it is. What a break.
Go against the netminder, I believe.
What a break for the Americans.
I think they're going to put up two. Well, they won't put it on the board. I think it's going to go against Intwert, will be the slash. And Levins, I think, was a crease violation. Harris comes over.
They may get him for something else, but he was definitely inside the crease. And
now Linden comes over.
Number 30, goaltender Dean Intwerp, 2 minutes for slashing. Tri-Cities penalty to number 16, Scott Levins, 2 minutes for interference at 11:30.
Linden will serve the penalty on Intwerp. Harris is serving Daniluk's penalty. And 3:50 remaining in the power play for the Tri-City Americans.
That was definitely a break for the Americans there.
6th power play of the night. This one a 5-minute major, 8.5 minutes to play in the second period. This time it is Gorley and McNutt on the faceoff. McNutt wins it. Nibs keeps it in play. Along the wall, Levins finds Lindsay, or Degner rather, finds Lindsay beside the net. Lindsay with it in the left circle. Stolen away, taken away from him by Degner. Left Nibs. Back to McNutt. McNutt left circle. Back behind the net to Billy Lindsay. Lindsay back out front, Virtue. Virtue along the right wall now to Lindsay. Lindsay wheels. Lindsay turns as Degner is taken down. Out front, Virtue. Back left to Lindsay, but Lindsay can't get to the loose puck. And it's shot out of play by the Winterhawks. Jeff Sebastian driving it out of play. This is not the #1 power play unit for the Americans, but a great opportunity for Coach Rick Kozuback to get some other people on the ice for the power play.
They've really worked quite hard this week, even though that they've had the extra time off. Matter of fact, Coach Kozuback gave them Monday off after the victory over Victoria on Sunday evening. But the last 3 days have been very tough. They've actually worked really right down to the game plan. They've got back to basics, and that's one thing you have to do when you go down this stretch of the season.
Jakes, Reeves, Dirksen, Sakic, and Spenrath on the ice for the Americans now. For the power play as the Winterhawks, Leahy drives it back into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig backpedaling will leave it beside the net for Devin Dirksen. Outlet pass right to Jakes. Loose puck knocked away by Innes, but picked up by Dirksen. Devin Dirksen brings it up. Dirksen red line, blue line right side. Drop pass for Sakic. Sakic across the rink wide pass across the slot for Reeves. Reeves makes the save or picks up the puck. Goes to Dirksen at the left hash mark. Hits a skate as Dirksen tried to come back up front to Jakes at the point. Jakes with it. Goes right now to Kyle Reeves. Reeves finds Sakic at the blue line. To Spenrath. Spinner picks it up. Takes it into the right corner. Spenrath back along the wall to Sakic at the hash mark up front. Jakes one time. A bullet. And a nice save by Dean Intwert. As Spenrath just about got leveled by that shot from Steve Jakes. And did get leveled by either Leahy or I think that's the Rock.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kirk.
Rick Fry from behind.
The Rock, as he laid a little stone on Spenrath there.
Yeah, he did.
And what a shot, though, by Steve Jakes, as that shot was high up into the stick side of Dean Intwert. And, boy, it really handcuffed him up there high, and that's a good shot to shoot, especially if you're a defenseman. Defensemen out there, take note of that shot. You want to shoot it high and up to the inside of the stick.
7:07 to go, second period. 2:27 left in the major penalty against the Winterhawks. Puck in the right corner. Winterhawks try to clear it out, can't. Jakes with it, goes left now to Dirksen. Back to Jakes up front. Jakes into the slot. Spenrath to Sakic in the right corner. Sakic back to Spenrath at the hash mark. Spenrath goes low to Sakic. Give and go. Back to Spenrath in the slot. Gets by everybody. Cut down there by Dirksen. Finds Jakes. Jakes back to Sakic. Rink wide left. Dirksen a drive. Loose puck in behind the net. The Americans try to dive on it. Reeves as Spenrath dove on the loose puck up to Jakes. Jakes a shot. Whoops. Spenrath tried to redirect. Wouldn't go. Now Dirksen with it. Chops it off the wall. Reeves in traffic in the slot. Winterhawks. Krause drives it back out into the Tri-City zone. Minute 41 to go. In the power play, the Americans have not scored on this 5-minute major, and you certainly want to do that. Dirksen with the puck now. Americans leading 5-2 over the Winterhawks. Bad pass from Dirksen, tried to get it to Reeves. Reeves couldn't handle it. Back to Rick Fry. Fry up along the wall into the Tri-City zone. Minute 20 to go on the power play. Kozuback will leave it for Jakes beside the net. Steve Jakes, quick pass ahead to Nibbs. Nibbs and Rennie race in, but Ruark has the puck. Shoots it back out to the neutral zone. Dirksen cuts it off. Goes right to Rennie. Dogger across the right circle. Dogger into the corner. Cut down by Fry. Loose puck. Picked up by the Winterhawks, but chopped back in by Virtue. Gets by Sakic. Fry in the corner. Wheels it around behind the net. Cut down by Nibbs. Nibbs back to Rennie. Rennie losing it to the referee and Mike Ruark in the neutrals in the left corner. Now Nibbs cuts it loose as Gorley comes in on Nibbs. Nibbs in the left circle, back up front. Farrell a drive. Nice save, rebound as Rennie is buried into the Tri-City zone as Gorley goes after it. But back to pick it up is Farrell. Half minute to go on the power play. Virtue brings it up. Virtue being hooked by Ennis. Virtue in the slot. Couldn't get the shot away, and the Winterhawks drive it right back out again. Farrell back to pick it up. 19 seconds left. Right to Virtue. Backhand pass. Finds Nibbs. Nibbs left circle. Nibbs out in the slot to Rennie. Rennie breaking in. McNutt shot. Save. Nice save by Intwert. Loose puck in the right corner. Rennie drops it back. Or Nibbs dropping it back to Rennie. Rennie with it. Cross ice pass left. Farrell shot. Save by Intwert. Puck goes in behind the net. Power play's over. Portland effectively killing the 5-minute major penalty. Ruark, Innes on the puck. Long wait for the whistle. Still no whistle as Rennie pops Ruark a hard one behind the net. Now the puck is kicked loose out into the corner. All four players trying to get a whistle to stop the play as Linden has it stolen away by McNutt. Picked up by Nibbs. Nibbs fires it back into the Portland zone. 4 minutes to go, second period. Winterhawks, Krause with the puck behind the net. Jumped on by McNutt. And the puck is shot out to neutral ice. Leahy with it, breaks in. Leahy shoots, save. Kozuback, Jakes with the puck off the wall for Lindsay. Lindsay beats Ennis. Gets it ahead to Bowen. Bowen from the right side. Bowen shoots. Save. Loose puck picked up by Intwert as Lindsay. And Lindsay just crushed by Intwert. The net is completely tipped over.
And Linden using his stick a little bit. Oh, and he gets another one.
And that time referee Hughes saw it, and Linden is gone. He sticked Lindsay about 4 times. Lindsay's going to have some seriously sore ribs.
No doubt about it.
There should be about 3 Winterhawks taking a hike to the dressing room here. That was horrible.
Terrible.
Cheap. Linden working Lindsay over after Lindsay is smashed into the net.
There were 3 of
Dean
them.
Intwert.
3 of them. I mean, 3 outright slashes to this chest.
Yep.
They better think about how many penalty minutes they want to throw on the board for that one. Very
5-2. Americans leading. 3:45 to go in the period. Back after this.
2 minutes.
Looking for a computer and want the best buy around? It's not at a warehouse. It's not at a discount store. It's not even mail order. It's at Kennewick Computer. Like our premier AT-compatible 12 megahertz computer system with 40 megabyte hard drive and crisp VGA color graphics. Costco price $17.49. Kennewick Computer $16.99. More features, better service, less cost, financing available at Kennewick Computer. Next to Griggs Furniture in Columbia Center North.
For Larry and Richard,
How are you?
this is a place to die for.
You have to kill them, Vito.
While they're checking in, Bernie Lomax will be checking out.
Oh, my God. What kind of a host invites you to his house for the weekend and dies on you?
I don't know.
Oh, Bernie, you animal. You are insatiable.
Doesn't anyone realize he's dead?
The thing that you talk about losing control as Levins buries Fry for taking a shot. Loose puck behind the net. Jakes backhands it out front. Picked up by Fry. Goes left to Maiden. Maiden unable to make the shot. Now we get a penalty. Holding will be the call on who knows.
Yeah, and it looks like Danny Sherstenka is going to be whistled for the hold. They're opening up the box, and it's going against the Americans. I guarantee you, listen to these fans. I'll tell you right now, this is getting very close. Very close. Kirk got a score for you. Oh, boy, is this going to ring across the Coliseum. After one period of play, Kamloops 3, Victoria 4. Victoria leads Kamloops in Kamloops tonight 4-3 after one period of play.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, wait a minute. Linden got 2 for roughing. Bowen got 2 for roughing. Now Scherstenka gets 2 for holding. And that gives Portland their 4th power play of the night. The Americans 1 for 6 as Fry brings it up along the wall to Innes. 3:10 to go in the second period. 5-2 Tri-Cities. Innes drops it for Ruark through the neutral zone. Cut down by Rennie. Rennie along the wall. Back into the Portland zone. Fry goes after it with Rennie going in on top of him. Fry behind the net. Rennie's all over him. Fry unable to get the puck out of there. Now gets it up to Innes. Innes along the left wing boards. Right side, Meiden. Meiden, top of the slot. Goes to the right side. Fleetwood. Fleetwood in the corner. Tried to center. Poked away by Kozuback. Blistered out of there by the Americans. Back into neutral ice. Rennie and Fry in a foot race. Duggar gets on the puck. Rennie stops. Fry misses him, but the puck goes in beside the net. Ruark with it. He's worked over by Nibs. And the Winterhawks. Fleetwood will bring it out. Minute 6 to go on the penalty. Fleetwood hooked down by Lindsay. Referee looking the other way. The Americans with the puck. Farrell firing it in ahead of Lindsay. Back into the Portland zone. Lindsay and Ruark. Loose puck at the Portland blue line. Picked up by Krause. Krause wheels. Under pressure from Billy Lindsay. Lindsay's stick being held by Ruark. Now Krause brings it out. Goes to the right side for Meiden. Lindsay upends Meiden. Great open ice check by Lindsay. McNutt losing the puck. Now Meiden is down. Meiden went down, may have hurt a knee.
And that's exactly what it is. It's his right knee that he got checked by Billy Lindsay. And oh boy, that is going to hurt right there.
Well, trainer Innes Mackey is out to have a look at Scott Meiden. 2 minutes remain on the clock in the second period. 5-2 Americans. We'll be back after this. Two minutes remaining on the clock. Scott Meiden goes off under his own power. He may be able to return. He's the Winterhawks' leading scorer.
He is their man. He has 23 goals, 50 assists, for 73 points so far this season. Scotty Meiden is a smaller player, but he's known as a disturber on offense and defense. And he could make a living very easily in Europe this next year. He handles the puck very well, and he's a great decoy. He rolls off his checks very nicely.
5-2 Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks here in the second period at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Loose puck picked up by Krause on the faceoff. Goes left to Harrison. Harrison around Jakes. Wheels in, but Levins is there to break up the play. Loose puck behind the net, and it's up on the netting, and they'll face it off in the left circle. Now Dorchak having a little a word with referee Hughes, and I don't think that was a word that Hughes wanted to hear as he turns around and has a look at Dorchak.
Coming up in the second intermission, Pierre Dorian will be my guest. He is a scout for Central Scouting. We're going to talk a little bit about how the Hockey News got the list of all the players that are listed for Central Scouting.
Aren't they supposed to have that list?
No.
Out to neutral ice, Krause, a long-distance shot saved by Levins. Got his stick on it. Now Kozuback tries to drive it out, hits another stick. Dorchak goes to the right side beside the net. Gorley trying to work it in from the right, and the Americans dive all over him. Power play still underway for the Winterhawks. This time Levins gets it out to Spinrath. Spenrath 1-on-2 with Kraus catching up. Drops it for Levins. Loose puck picked up by Sebastian. He goes left. Finds Harrison. Harrison at the blue line, but Jake's working him over. Shot in beside the net. Kozuback slaps it off to the corner. Back up front. Scherstenka out of the penalty box. Trying to get on it. Knocks it down once, twice. But Kraus with it for the Winterhawks. Now back to Spenrath. Spenrath from the right. Pulls up at the right hash mark. Kraus takes him off the play. Puck in beside the net. Levins tries to find Lindsay. Lindsay back up front. Virtue. Virtue's shot hits bodies and goes out of play up into Section H. 58 seconds to go in the second period here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Kirk Williamson and Tony Yacht.
Kirk, you know, the Tri-City Americans so far, if you add the 5 tonight, that brings their season total in goals scored to 314. And that's in 55 games. They had 300 after 72 games last year, and so far that is third best in the last 10 years that this team has actually been a hockey club, and that dates back to New West.
5-2, Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks. Face-off, Portland zone, top of the left circle, Innes and McNutt. Puck is down, McNutt winning the draw. Farrell with it, drives it into the corner. Picked up by Rick Fry. Fry up along the wall. To the right to Steve Young. Rink-wide pass left. The Americans go back to get it. Devin Dirksen with it. Dirksen right straight up the middle. Tried to get it to Reeves. He's taken off the play by Kim Deck. Icing win. Fry gets to it. No, washed up. Boom! McNutt just belted Fry. And the puck is chopped out of play. Boy, did McNutt line Rick Fry up. Holy cow.
And I think what you're going to be seeing here is that Stewie Barnes should be released. Yep, there he goes. Stu Barnes is now back onto the ice. He'll get the breather, and we'll see Stu back out there in the third period.
Well, it's kind of a nice vacation. McNutt with Sakic and Reeves, Dirksen and Farrell at the points. For the Americans, for the Winterhawks, it is Greg Leahy. Leahy with Innes and Steve Young. Quick shot from the right point as Sakic is buried in the slot. Back out to neutral ice. Dirksen with it. He took the shot. Puck whacked along the blue line. Knocked away from Reeves. Winterhawks with it. Innes right to Leahy. Leahy breaks in. Man catching up. Leahy around Farrell. Farrell drives it back away from him up to the right point. Leahy in the slot. Shot save. Kolzig. Puck goes into the right corner. Taken away by Farrell again. This time McNutt along the wall. And Dirksen driving it out to the blue line. Another shot coming. No. Stolen away by Reeves. Reeves poke checked away. 2 seconds to go. McNutt kicks it ahead to Reeves. And McNutt takes a shot right at the buzzer from Steve Young. Well, at the end of 2 complete periods of play, the score. Tri-Cities 5. Winterhawks 2.
Up, way up. That's what's been happening to cable viewership. At the same time, guess what's happened to network viewership? And the majority of those lost network ratings have gone directly to cable. Over 120 million viewers have found cable, and there's a simple way for advertisers to find them. Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
A strange force has entered the galaxy. The future of mankind is at stake.
We'll need all the power you can muster, mister.
Now, the crew of the Enterprise brings the adventure into your home.
Fire the rockets!
I deeply regret this desperate act, but these are desperate times.
I'm a prisoner on my own ship.
This is the boldest trek of all. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Premiering in your home.
period, it's Victoria 4 and Kamloops 3.
Victoria Kamloops score after one. The Cougars leading that one up in Victoria. Puck shot into the Tri-City zone. The Americans play tomorrow night in Spokane. Kozuback fires a shot around behind the net. Comes off the wall, nibs to Barnes. Barnes will have to leave it at neutral ice. Harris driving it back into the Tri-City zone. Puck in behind the net now. Virtue plays it ahead to Nibs as he's tied up by Dorchak. Nibs up along the left wing for Barnes. Knocked away from him by Harris, but picked right up by Calvin Nibs. Nibs slapping it into the Portland zone. Right into the net. Ruark and Barnes go in hard. Barnes cuts Ruark away from it, but Gorley has it out to the neutral zone, but Dirksen keeps it, Dirksen keeps it in play. Lindsay to Nibs. Back into the right corner. Nibs in behind the net. Out to Barnes in the left circle at the hash mark. Barnes just steps back, lets Harrison crash the boards. Puck back out to neutral ice. Dirksen with it. Drives it back in. Barnes is offside as the Winterhawks cut the puck down at neutral ice. Now Gorley long distance shot, gloved by Kozuback, and will be left for Farrell. Gorley dialed up Kozuback from 2 area codes away, and that one would have gone right over the net, but Kozuback just put the glove on it. Up to Farrell as he brings it ahead. Barnes being tripped, kicked, knocked down. Penalty coming. Shot taken by Farrell. Loose puck slapped away by Sebastian. Puck into the corner. Kozuback out of the net. Fleetwood gets his wood on it. And into the net goes Scott Levins, but without the puck.
Well, they called the delayed penalty, and I'm kind of wondering something. If Gary Hughes did not know who shot that puck into the corner, as Jeff Sebastian is probably asking the same question. He shot the puck into the corner to end the delay, but it gave the Americans another opportunity to shoot it in. Nonetheless, Portland gets ticketed for the penalty as James Black sits down. Another power play opportunity for the Americans. There's 7th.
7th for the Tri-City Americans. In the game, Winterhawks have had 4. Face-off right circle in the Portland zone. Loose puck slapped at, back out to neutral ice. Dirksen gets it to Barnes. Barnes cross ice right to Sakic. Sakic right point. Goes left across ice to Barnes. Barnes left hash mark. Steps into left circle. Slides it out into the slot. Dirksen goes to the right side for Sakic. Stolen away there by Brent Fleetwood. Fleetwood takes it into the Tri-City zone. Beats Dirksen in front of Kozuback. Backhand shot. Penalty coming against the Winterhawks. Well, no, wait a minute. No, it's against the Americans.
I believe you're going to
power play.
Yeah, that one is going to go against Devin Dirksen, as I believe he's going to get whistled for the hooking, and that's what it is. He's going down.
Comes at the minute 51 mark of the period.
He took Brent Fleetwood as Fleetwood took the puck all the way up ice, and he went right around Devin Dirksen as he was going in on Ole Kozuback. The hook came out. Devin Dirksen took him down to the ice and threw him off into the corner. And there was referee Gary Hughes with the arm up and saying go to the bench.
In about a minute and 36 seconds, Portland will have a 24-second power play. That'll be their 5th of the night. Face-off left circle, Tri-City zone. Innes and McNutt. In the meantime, the teams will skate 4-on-4. Now McNutt gets dumped, and in comes Lindsay to face 20-year-old Judson Innes. Innes wins the draw. Fry, left point, goes down in front of the net. Innes turns, shoots, save, Kozuback. Rebound comes out to Lindsay. Lindsay, headman pass to McNutt. Poked away from him by Deck. Back to Scherstenka. He goes left to Jakes. Jakes loses it to Fry. Fry to Innes, right side. Innes from the right circle, saved Kozuback, and Kozuback lands on top of the puck. Ole took that one right in the chest and let it fall in front of him.
Judson Innes with a nice shot right there, as he took the shot at a kind of a weird angle, but it's one of those angles, if you get the goaltender moving back to the other side, kind of worrying about the other man coming down the ice, you can almost sneak one in on the short side. Judson Innes takes a shot. It takes Ole right in the crest of the sweater, and he was able to control that rebound and pounce right on it for the faceoff.
Face-off right circle, Tri-City zone. This time won by McNutt, picked up by Jakes. Jakes behind the net. Steps out left to McNutt. Steve McNutt cutting to the middle. Wheels away from traffic. Now comes up the right wing boards. McNutt keeps the puck in front of him. McNutt drops it for Lindsay, but it goes across the blue line. Back out to Jakes. 58 seconds left. The Americans find Lindsay. Lindsay breaks in, shoots, save Entward. And Dean Entward goes down in the crease.
great move by Bill Lindsay. As he knew he had the slower Rick Fry on him, Billy Lindsay did the hesitation step. As he made the hesitation, it brought Rick Fry standing straight up on his skates. Billy Lindsay puts on the jets and scoots right around him for a direct shot on Intward. Nice play by Bill Lindsay. He keeps that up in the years to come, and he's going to be popping down a couple of those. He knows that if he gets around a slower defenseman, he'll have the open shot.
17:26 to go in the third period whistle on the faceoff.
And they went over, the linesman went over there to find out what was going on, and it looks as if
maybe a bench minor against the Winterhawks. Well, let's see. Ken Hodge watching quietly. Krause comes over to ask what's going on. Apparently will not be a... Well, the phones are ringing. Let's see.
Well, I'm really kind of lost there to find out. I did not see any kind of motion whatsoever. I know it was pointed at the bench.
Up to Farrell on the faceoff. Farrell finds Sakic in the slot. Sebastian ties him up. Degner jumping on him. Now comes off to Sakic at the right hash mark. Sakic with it. Finds Degner beside the net. Backhand pass for Farrell. Cut down by Fleetwood. Fleetwood brings it up for the Winterhawks. 2-on-3. Drop for Sebastian. His shot steered around behind the net. Comes off to Degner. Degner wheels, hits the Jets, cuts to the middle. Leads Farrell into the Portland zone. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty. And an icing call against the Tri-City Americans. 16:52 remaining in the game. 5-2 Tri-Cities. Back after this.
Coming February 15th through the 18th, tune into the Disney Channel's free preview weekend as we celebrate the American family. Lantern Hill, the Mickey Mouse Club, and Carole King. 3 great reasons why the Disney Channel is America's family network. And when you subscribe to the Disney Channel, you can get a free Mickey Mouse Club wall clock. So don't miss the Disney Channel's free preview February 15th through the 18th.
Incidentally, that Mighty Mike's tournament that was scheduled for Yakima on the morrow has been canceled because of bad weather. Seattle and Portland unable to make the trip. 19 seconds remaining in the penalty to the Winterhawks, and then they'll have the power play for about a half a minute. Puck shot in beside the Tri-Cities net. Winterhawks with it. Fleetwood goes left, had Harris on the doorstep. Harris couldn't handle the pass. Puck goes behind the net for Sherstenka. Back to Barnes. Barnes will bring it up. Stu Barnes right straight up the middle. Power play's over. Jamie Black steps out. Barnes wheels away from him. Drops it for Jakes. Jakes right up the middle. Jakes hits the Jets. Goes to the right side. Jakes takes it all the way in. Tries to wrap it. He's taken down as Intwert went to the wrong side of the net. Now the Winterhawks bring it back as Jakes was hauled down beside the net. Loose puck as Sherstenka trades punches with Harrison. The Winterhawks have it. Ruark, a drive, redirected beside the net. Kolzig to Brad Harrison. Puck loose in the slot. Gorley takes a whack at it. Kolzig makes his save. Oh, what's that? And now we got Dirksen having a scramble with somebody. Ooh, you know what this is, Tony?
How do you rate? I just want to know how you rate in this building.
You know what this is?
That's looks like a gyro.
Yeah, except it's pronounced gyros.
Yeah.
Ooh, sniff that.
Oh. Somebody's happy up here now.
Oh, my. Now we got them, everybody yapping at each other. Dirksen goes off the ice. Uh-oh. Looks like Virtue got a piece of somebody.
Let's see, Virtue threw one.
No, that was Fancy. Popped Harrison. Boy, that got ugly. And will they try to clean it up? We'll take a break. 1 minute on this Tri-Cities Radio, Americans hockey broadcast. Yeah. Geez. Yeah, take a minute. That's going to be a while. Holy, who jumped on Ruark?
I thought the state wrestling tournament was up in Tacoma this weekend.
Well, I thought so too. Wow. Dan Scherstenka just buried Mike Ruart.
2 for the white takedown.
Boy, I guess so.
Holy cow.
Well, I took one bite of that gyro sandwich.
I'm watching you.
You want a bite?
No, that's okay. You go ahead. You're gonna eat that up there, and probably not. This thing is not gonna make it. I guarantee you.
Yeah, it will. I'm gonna take it home. I'm gonna take it home because I can't do that. One, you know why? Because of that tzatziki sauce in it with the cucumbers. It would kill you to try to eat it during the game. 15:57 remaining in the hockey game. I don't know how much time is left in the wrestling match.
Wow.
Scherstenka's in the box. Ruart's in the box. Fancy's in the box.
Well, they were kind of standing toe-to-toe down there as the linesman made the sinful mistake of leaving that unattended, as Scherstenka and Ruart were kind of jawing about each other's family tree.
He just exploded at Ruart.
I know it.
I never saw anything like it. Ruart went down like a ton of bricks.
Completely off his skates, all the way down on his backside.
Ruart is 6'2", 195 pounds. Scherstenka, 5'10", and 175 pounds.
Like a little bulldog.
Oh, man.
He just jumped right on him.
And Portland, Harris gets a 5-minute major.
Oh, look at that.
Well. Because that goes on the board. Now, and Fancy's 2-minute minor is up there. So I think what you're going to see is 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes of the major. Spenrath and Leahy out there having a word with referee Hughes. Here it comes.
Number 3, Mike Ruart, 5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. Number 26, Kelly Harris, 5 minutes for spearing and an automatic game misconduct.
Whoa.
For the Tri-City Americans, number 5, Dan Scherstenka, 5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. Number 20, Jeff Fancy, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Those penalties all at the 4:03 mark.
Well, Harris's spearing, Tony, must have come late in the exchange over there, which may have explained some of Scherstenka's reaction, but I'm telling you, he jumped on Mike Ruart like...
I've never seen him do that. That was just incredible. That had Kirk and I up against this glass up here with our eyes just kind of out.
I'd never seen anything happen so quickly. Now Leahy's over to have a little word with referee Hughes. Referee Hughes may not be the finest example of the referee's art that we've seen this year. Been a little bit close to being out of control tonight. 15:57 remaining in the hockey game. Portland broadcaster Dean Broman is screaming bloody murder down there. So it's kind of going, it's been real interesting. 5-2, Tri-Cities leading. McNutt and Meiden on the face-off. It is 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. As the puck knocked around a neutral ice. Quick pass ahead to Meiden. Meiden can't handle it. Good to see Meiden back on his feet, though. As Lindsay lays it off to McNutt. McNutt popped by Meiden. McNutt jumped on by Fleetwood. Meiden with it. Lays it in the slot. Picked up by the Americans. Here comes Dirksen and Lindsay. Great lead pass to Lindsay. Lindsay breaks in. Scores! Bill Lindsay! What a pass from Dirksen to Lindsay. Wow.
What a pretty pass by Devin Dirksen as he crosses just over the red line to make sure that it was not going to be a two-line offside pass. Leads Billy Lindsay so nicely as it catches him in full stride with Billy Lindsay's blade down on the ice. The puck sits right up against the curved part of the stick. He goes in all by himself up against Intworth, and he makes the move, pops it in the net. The Americans' 6th goal. They now lead at 6-2.
Bill Lindsay getting the goal. Dirksen the assist. Lindsay getting his 30th marker of the year. Puck shot through neutral ice. Bowen takes it into the Portland zone. Deck back behind the net. Levins buries Bowen. And the puck picked up by Ennis. Here comes Ennis at center ice. Ennis blue line. Taken off the play by Virtue. Bowen back the other way. 2-on-1. Bowen Tried to get it to Levins, and Intward diving for cover. Now Kraus takes Levins down. Fry dumps Levins.
Boy,
Levins
I'll tell
jumps
you.
in between, and Fry and Levins hit each other with the linesman.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, Scotty Levins has just been, in the last few games, I've seen Scotty Levins play with more intensity than I've seen him play all season long.
Yep.
And he is really playing like an American. And he took Rick Fry there and used the linesman, as you said, Kurt,
as a club.
And he's going to go to the box for it.
Well, what that means, oh, look at the scoreboard. What? That means that more of the 5-minute major is wiped out.
Yep.
Scott Levins, 2 minutes for roughing at 4:59.
I think the linesman would like to call it a little differently, but...
Boy, 6-2, the Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks. 4:04 left in the major to Mike Ruark, or to Harris, rather. Now there's about 2 more minutes before the Americans will get to work on that major. They still would have a couple minutes of power play. Americans would be their 8th of the night, assuming they don't commit any more penalties. Up the left wing, Dorchak, and Jakes pokes it over the wall on Dean Dorchak. Try again. Tony, that Euro sandwich is so good.
I can smell
What a
it.
nice man.
I can smell that.
My breath. Has onions, lettuce.
Okay, Kirk, that's enough. Hey, as far as
great Greek sauce with cucumbers.
Last day for refunds.
Are you hungry?
Last day for refunds for the Portland game on the 26th will be on the 21st. That is coming up in just a few days. You have till 7 p.m. to get your refunds. After 7, no more.
Americans win the draw. Puck in behind the net. Jakes drives it the length of the ice. And Intwert will watch it come. He'll stop it behind the net. Try to fire it away from Rennie. Rennie cut it off. Rennie in the right corner. Rennie losing the puck, though, to Kraus. Picked up by the Winterhawks. Sebastian brings it up. Portland with the man advantage. The Winterhawks on their 5th power play of the night. 4-on-3. Portland fires the puck in beside the net left. Jamie Black with it in the left corner. Looking for Sebastian up front. It's 4-on-3. Sebastian into the left circle. Around Virtue. Can't get it away. The Americans have it. Virtue left corner. Virtue brings it out. Virtue trying to get it to Rennie. Stolen away from him. Virtue knocks it right back again. Puck goes in behind the net now. Jamie Black worked over by Jake. Here comes Fancy to get into play. Fancy jumps on Sebastian. Shot taken. Save Kozuback. Up front. Kraus a drive. Nice diving save by Rennie as Jakes puts Dorchak on his face. Now it'll be 4-on-4 as Fancy got back into play. Up along the wall to Kraus. Kraus rink wide pass left. Dorchak. Dorchak being lined up by Farrell. Loose puck knocked away. Sebastian. Whoop, Barnes almost got it. Here comes Maiden. Maiden right. Kraus. Kraus shoots. Wide of the net to the right side. A little too much stick for Kraus as Nibs picks it up. Bangs it off the glass. Picked up by Barnes. Barnes trying to beat Kraus. He does. 2-on nobody. Dirksen shoots. Save Intward. Just got his stick down. Nice shot pass by Barnes to Dirksen. But Intward just got his leg on the puck. Now Barnes takes Kraus in behind the net. Barnes gets the puck. Picked up there by Harrison. Harrison and Barnes fight for it. Barnes, Kraus, Harrison. Now Reeves jumping on the loose puck. Reeves fights through Fry. Slaps it into the slot. Loose puck. Save Intward as Spenrath tries to knock it out of his glove and can't do it. And there are sticks in the air again.
I'll tell you what, the first thing you see is the Americans go in there, they tie up the Winterhawks, but boy, I have not seen the Winterhawks put so many sticks so high in the air than I have tonight. Every time they get somebody wrapped up, they always throw their stick high up into the air. That is so dangerous to do.
Well, the Winterhawks, what you do with all my paperwork here?
Oh, I've got it over here, Kurt.
Winterhawks now are 0-for-5 on the power play. The Americans have 1:57 remaining in their 8th power play of the night. That's part of the major to Harris.
There's a definition for you for high sticking.
Driving the stick through the head of an opposing player. Yeah, that's pretty close. Barnes with the puck. Top of the left circle. Cranks up a big one. Spenrath tried to redirect it. Couldn't. Leahy trying to get rid of it out front. Portland bangs it around. Spenrath and Barnes couldn't get to it. Now they get it back to Leahy. Dirksen on to Greg Leahy. Leahy trying to leave it, and Kozuback slapping it right back to the Americans. Here come the Americans, 3-on-2. Right, Barnes drops for Sakic. Sakic tied up in the slot, backhanded out of there by Deck. Kozuback will come back for it. Minute 23 left in the Americans' power play. And this on a major penalty as Spenrath brings it up the right wing boards after he kind of fanned on it. Being double teamed, gets it left to Dirksen. Dirksen ahead to Reeves. Slap back out by the Winterhawks. Dirksen goes back for it. Barnes has it. Barnes and Fleetwood. Now Barnes out to Spenrath. Spenner takes it in left side. Shoots a pass right for Reeves. Reeves doorstep. Oh! Went to the backhand and Inchworth dove on the loose puck. Back up to Barnes at the right point. 55 seconds left. Inchworth kind of standing on his head. Reeves turns, finds Sakic. Sack overskated it as he broke in, and we get a penalty, slashing the call against
the Winterhawks.
Yep.
Number 25, Jeff Sebastian, will be ticketed for the slash as he really tore into Kyle Reeves, as the Americans are just really, they're toying with the Winterhawks down in front of the net, as they basically have this game, they're throwing it back and forth, and it's in their control, and they're just not able to put it in there.
Americans will have their 9th power play and a 5-on-3 advantage for 49 seconds.
Well, if you're looking at percentages tonight, the Americans have been 1 for 7, and that is not great for the 35% that they have on the season. But right now, they have a great opportunity to put a couple of them in.
McNutt with Degner and Lindsay. Jakes and Virtue at the point. McNutt to face off against Maiden. Maiden wins the draw, but Jakes takes his shot, fires it right over Inchworth's head. Comes off the glass to Lindsay. Lindsay gets crunched, but Virtue has the puck back to Lindsay along the right side. Penalty coming as Kozuback goes off the ice. We get another whistle against the Winterhawks. Now Maiden and Lindsay go at it. Boy, Maiden went Fist City on Lindsay, and Lindsay lands a couple back, but Maiden is just going with the haymakers. Now Lindsay lands 2 or 3 good ones on Maiden's face. There's a bunch of good ones on Scott Maiden.
And that one is a retaliation for the hip check that Maiden threw.
Maiden's still going after Lindsay. Maiden's half undressed. Lindsay's over there in the protective custody of the linesman, but Lindsay held his own and then some, as Maiden still continues to air Billy Lindsay out over that hip check. Maiden's going to the penalty box. Sans gear as Lindsay, he lost his sweater and then some. Lindsay goes to the penalty box, and I'm not sure why, because I thought Maiden just jumped Billy Lindsay big time.
And
but,
he did.
Well, they clean up the mess. Americans leading 6-2 back in 1 minute.
Looking for a computer and want the best buy around? It's not at a warehouse. It's not at a discount store. It's not even mail order. It's at Kennewick Computer. Like our 386SX computer system with 40 megabyte hard drive and crisp VGA color graphics. You could mail order this from CompuAd for $25.39 or buy locally from Kennewick Computer for just $19.95. More features, better service, less cost, financing available at Kennewick Computer next to Griggs Furniture in Columbia Center North.
Go 5-on-2.
Yeah. Well, it would just add...
right. They'll just add another 2 up there.
It would continue the 5-on-3.
Right.
Lordy, lordy. Maiden's gone. They don't think they like him too much. I don't think that was an appreciative hand for Scott Maiden that time, Tony.
No, I don't think so. But what you saw right there was that Scott Maiden is considered a team leader on this Portland Winterhawk club. And as soon as the penalty, there was a delayed penalty being assessed against the Winterhawks. That will still come up. I believe what you're going to see, Kirk, is another 2 minutes for either charging or boarding. Then, as soon as that penalty was called, then the gloves dropped. Maiden went straight after Lindsay as it was a targeted shot all the way.
Maiden, 5 minutes for charging, 5 minutes for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct.
Charge plus fight plus 10.
For the Tri-City Americans, number 11, Bill Lindsay, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, 5 minutes for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct at 8:27.
Well, and if referee Hughes had needed more minutes to get rid of Maiden, I'm sure he would have found him. Also, if he'd have needed more minutes to get rid of Lindsay, he'd have found him as well.
Yeah.
And bottom line is that another 5-minute major goes on the board against the Winterhawks.
And it's a 5-on-3. And that makes it even worse.
It'll be 4-on-3 now. As Lindsay's
4-on-3.
Lindsay's unsportsmanlike penalty goes up there. That ends power play number 8, near as I can tell. It's 6-2 Americans. This has just gotten weird, Tony, and kind of ugly.
And in the 4-on-3 situation, the Portland Winterhawks will be 2 men short for a good minute and 47 seconds. And they will have, the Americans will have, again, like I say, the 5-on-3 or 4-on-3 for a good portion of this penalty. But again, the 5-minute major, that's the big one right there.
Yep.
As that is just going to be able to give the Americans more time to put the puck into the net.
Well, it's 4-on-3 now. It'll be Levins against Leahy. I don't think we've seen the end of the fighting yet either. All right. Puck is shot into the Portland zone. Backboard is Krause. Krause whipping it around behind the net. It comes off to Bowen. Bowen down to Levins. Give and go. Levins in behind the net. Has McNutt going down the crease. Can't get it done. Levins with it. Back to McNutt in the right corner. They cross. Cross-ice pass for Jakes. Jakes left point. Jakes' shot goes between the legs of Fry. Back to Levins in the left corner. Back up front to Jakes. Jakes right. Has McNutt. McNutt a drive. Tried to redirect. It was Bowen. And it goes off the glass and out of play.
Okay, what you're going to see here is that in another 3 seconds, it'll be a 4-on-4.
No, it'll still be 4-on-3.
It'll be 4-on-3, and they don't start the 5-minute major
until the 3 seconds is over.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of nice. Most scoreboards don't carry 3 penalties. Yeah, but you can only actually assess 2, but you can have 1 waiting. And that's what's happened here. 11 minutes to play in the hockey game. 6-2 Portland as Jakes picks up the puck. Jakes walks in ahead of Leahy. Backs away from him now. Jakes has it taken away and shot the length of the ice for the Winterhawks. Out for it is Kozuback. Now it's still 4-on-3. And it'll be 5-on-4 in a minute 5 as Virtue brings it up. Virtue wheels in toward the net. Virtue round behind the net. Cross ice pass to Bowen. Bowen cranks one up. Hits a stick. Comes back beside the net. Up on the netting. And Virtue is taken in hard by Leahy. And they'll face it off in the Portland zone.
Well, you know, Kirk, the first 2 periods flew right by, and I was saying, well, gee, Merry Christmas, we're going to get this game over with real quick again. It actually hasn't been that long.
Actually, no, it's still only 10-10, so we're way ahead of the curve here. With 10:26 to go, faceoff will come just outside the Portland blue line. Sakic and Fleetwood on the draw. 53 seconds left in the penalty to Lindsay. Then the Americans will go back to full strength. Left to Barnes. Barnes tries to find Reeves down the slot. Reeves chops it back to Barnes, but it gets by Barnes and Dirksen. Back to neutral ice. 10-11 to go. Puck shot back into the Portland zone. The penalty against Sebastian will end in 19 seconds. Then it'll be 4-on-4 for about 10 seconds. Barnes back in his own zone. Then the Americans' power play will start again. Barnes brings it up. Barnes right straight up the middle. Barnes, blue line, pulls up. Shoots a pass across the rink to the right side. Tried to find Reeves, couldn't. Sebastian's back on the ice. This will be power play number 10 for the Americans in 5 seconds. And they'll have 3:35 roughly in the 5-on-4. And the penalty is over. Sandwith was in serving the penalty on Lindsay. And the Americans go in offside. 3:29 to go in the penalty. 9:26 to go in the hockey game. 3:29 remaining in the penalty to Scott Maiden.
Well, the Tri-City Americans take off on the road tomorrow night as they head up north to take on the Spokane Chiefs, the fourth-place team in this Western Division, trying to catch the Americans for third place. That'll be an important contest for the Americans as they have lost twice now, 2 times in a row up in Spokane. So they have got to go up there and show Spokane that they can beat them up there. Then they come back here on Sunday evening to finish out the last triple of the season against the Moose Jaw Warriors. And then on Tuesday, you're going to like this one, Hunter.
Yeah.
That's going back up to Kamloops, and then you have one more trip.
Yeah, one nice thing about this Kamloops trip, though, is there's no school on Monday, and the guys will have a chance maybe to leave earlier in the day instead of waiting until 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon to leave town.
Another nice thing, too, is that there won't be another contest up until next Friday when Spokane comes to town, so that'll give you know, a little extra time to make it on home.
Yeah. 6-2 the score. The Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks. Halfway through the third period, Innes and Rennie on the face-off. Rennie wins the draw. Back to Virtue, right to Jakes. Jakes brings it up, goes left for Levins. Stolen away by the Winterhawks, taken right back by Virtue. Virtue around a nice pick set by Jakes. Virtue beating Fry. Virtue walks in, drop pass there for Levins. Give and go to Virtue. Loose puck into left circle, picked up by right circle, picked up by Leahy. Winterhawks Sebastian, cross ice pass to Leahy. Leahy, blue line. Levins all over him. Loose puck comes off to Rennie and Virtue. The Americans with a man advantage for 3 more minutes. Virtue right straight up the middle. He can handle the puck. Virtue leaves it at the blue line. Jakes with it, goes to the right side. Jakes fights off Innes. Drops it into the slot for Spenrath. Back up front now to Terry Virtue. Virtue a drive. Redirected by Levins, but he couldn't get it to redirect in. Levins with it. Pokes it off the wall. Deck. Spenrath and Levins go after the puck. This time Innes has it. No, off the wall. Virtue keeps it in play. Spenrath with it. Gets it to Jakes. Jakes, everybody out of position. Jakes drives it in beside the net. Comes back to Spenrath at the left point. He plays it down to Rennie. Rennie with it. Cross ice right to Virtue. Virtue, his shot hits his stick. And it's gloved by Intward, who says, enough already. I don't like what I'm seeing here. 8:13 to go in the third period. The Americans chased Byron Defoe at the end of the first, but remember, Defoe is still coming back from that emergency appendectomy, and he's still kind of trying to play himself back into shape.
You know, one of the things, Kirk, is that if the Portland Winterhawks happen to not make the playoffs, there are 2 things that could happen to 2 members of that team. Byron Defoe could be called up to the Washington Capitals if they need him towards the playoffs. Also, Rob Krause, he could also be called up.
That's right. Face-off won by the Americans. Dirksen right, finding the Degner. Degner at the right hash mark. Back up to Dirksen. Dirksen a shot. Redirected up front by McNutt and Bowen. Picked up once again by Degner. Back up front to Dirksen. Right, Degner. Degner. Rink wide pass left, Barnes. Barnes, Bowen redirects. Save, Intward. What a great save by Intward.
Dean Intward watching that puck the entire way as Stewie Barnes takes a shot, and there was Jason Bowen to try to deflect it. He comes up with a glove save, but now we've got Dean Intward down inside the goal crease, and he is struggling. Something really got to him.
7:51 to go in the hockey game. 6-2. Americans leading the Winterhawks. We'll be back right after this.
If once isn't enough for you, turn to TBS and do a double take. Superstar Double Features Week begins Monday, March 19th with Clint Eastwood. Tuesday, Charles Bronson. Wednesday, Jack Nicholson. Thursday, Shane Fonda. And Saturday, Steve McQueen. And the one week that gives you everything you want. Twice. Superstar Double Features Week begins Monday, March 19th at 5:05 Pacific on TBS.
How about Lindsay? He's
How
having
about
2
Boner?
points.
We haven't had Boner. Back at the Tri-Cities Coliseum, 7:51 to go in the third period. The Americans having a little conference. Dirksen, McNutt, Bowen, and Degner talking. Barnes over talking with the linesman.
Boy, that is really
good hand for Dean Intward as he gets back to his feet. He was really hurt.
And I imagine he's on his way out. Yep, and here comes Byron Defoe.
Intward apparently, I mean, just judging from the look of it, looks like Well, I can't tell. Looks like maybe his knee or an ankle. Holding his left knee. He
may have, what happened, Kirk, is that when he went to catch that, he may have hyperextended that knee.
Could very well have, yep. Byron Defoe comes back in. And the Winterhawks give Defoe a chance to get squared away, and the faceoff will come in the right circle.
Edward hasn't played too bad. He's only given up 2 goals. And there was a bushel of shots tossed at him in that second period.
Yeah.
12 shots, let's see, yeah, 12, I believe. And doing fairly well in this third period up until then.
Defoe played the sieve early in the game. As the puck comes into the Portland zone, McNutt pulls it off the wall, wheels around. McNutt back up to the right point. Americans still on the power play. Dirksen goes right, got around McNutt, but Barnes there in the right corner to save it. Back up front to Dirksen. Dirksen a ripper. Loose puck as the rebound comes off of Byron Defoe. Nice save by Defoe. Bowen jumps on the puck at center ice, finds Degner. Degner tied up, drops it back to McNutt and Bowen. McNutt with it at the right hash mark. Starts in. Drop back pass right to Degner. Degner back up front. Dirksen back to Degner. Degner, rink wide pass left, Barnes. Barnes out to Degner. Degner shoots, save Defoe, and Defoe dives on the puck. Boy, Defoe came right back in, faced a lot of pressure, and came up big with a couple of big saves.
Yes, you come right back into the teeth of the Americans' power play as they have 1 minute and 8 seconds left, the Portland Winterhawks do, to try to kill this power play. And I guarantee you the Winterhawks are coming up big once again, but nice passes by the Americans. You can just see the power play develop as they try to send everybody in, and Stewie Barnes out there directing traffic once again. It's a nice-looking power play.
7:05 to go in the hockey game. Minute 8 remaining in the penalty to Maiden. He got double majors. Sakic, Spenrath in the slot, shot, save. Reeves keeps it in play, back to Sakic. Sakic back up front, Farrell. Farrell a drive. And again, this one's redirected. Spenrath tried to redirect it. Back up to Farrell from Sakic, back to Spenrath. Spenner redirected, but just missed the net wide to the right side. Sakic and Deck fight for the puck in the corner. Comes out along the wall. Farrell with it. Lifts it along the glass. Gets by Sakic. Knocked down by Reeves. Loose puck in the slot. And the Winterhawks are able to shoot it out into the neutral zone. Back for it, Farrell. Farrell wheels. Gets a nice pick from Jakes. Farrell turns. Brings it up the middle. Scott Farrell to the right side to Reeves. Back to Sakic. Left to Jakes. Jakes up front. Farrell one-timer down the slot. Bounces off a Deck, goes to the right side. Sakic back up front. Farrell left. Jakes one-timer. Saves Defoe. And Defoe comes up big again as Reeves and Fry exchange cross checks. Fry skates away. Reeves has a couple of choice words. 11 seconds left in the major penalty to Mike. Scoreboard is now directing the wave. Tells which section to start, when to, and how to.
Edward had 13 shots thrown at him in that third period, in that time that he was in the third period, and allowed 1 goal. So he has had 25 shots taken at him and 23 saves. Not too bad.
11 seconds remaining in the Americans' power play. Bowen has a chance. Can't get it done. Loose puck picked up by Virtue in the neutral zone. Virtue wheels, slaps it back into the Portland zone. Power play is over. Americans 1 for 10 on power plays tonight. Puck back along the wall. Bowen jumps on Innes. Bowen with the puck. Throws it out in the slot for Barnes. Barnes overskates it. Linden picks it up. Linden to Leahy for the Winterhawks. Cut down by Fancy. Now it's chopped away again for the Winterhawks. Linden, loose puck. Leahy has it. Barnes strips it away from Greg Leahy. Barnes back in his own zone. Turns around Jamie Linden. Barnes goes to the wall with Linden. And the puck shot back into the Tri-City zone again. 5:23 to go. Dirksen with the puck. Up the right wing. Drives it into the Portland zone. Defoe will leave it beside the net. Picked up by Sebastian. He steps out. Makes the lead pass to Innes. But it goes right to Farrell. Farrell with the puck. Farrell steps up the left wing boards, drives it in left of the Portland net. Defoe leaves it for Sebastian. Sebastian in traffic out along the wall. Cut down by Dirksen, kept in play. To Barnes, right circle. Barnes with it, doing his thing on Kim Deck. Deck takes Barnes off the play. Barnes trips him, and we get a penalty. It'll go against Stu Barnes as he upended Kim Deck. That comes at the 15:09 mark. Hooking will be the call against Barnes. Portland will get their 6th power play.
If the Tri-City Americans can hold on to this 4-goal lead with 4:51 remaining in the contest, they'll improve to 29, 23, and 3. That will be 6 games over the 500 mark. Kirk, they have never done that since becoming a Tri-City Americans. And
it is certainly possible this weekend to wind up 8 games over 500.
That's right. And with the victory tonight, the magic number is 4 to clinching the playoff.
Winterhawks win the draw. Fry with it. Left. Tries to find Slemko. He loses the puck. The Americans steal it back. Farrell driving it in along the left wing boards. Levins goes in after, working on Jamie Black. Can't get to it as Defoe plays it out along the wall. Slemko dumped by Spenrath. Levins has it. Levins with the puck behind the net. Throws it out in the slot. Saved by Defoe. Puck comes ahead to Deck. Dirksen jumps on Deck. Deck pokes it away. Picked up by Jamie Black. Black takes a shot to the right side into the right corner. Fleetwood with it. He's tied up by Farrell. The Americans bring it out from behind the net. That was Levins. Shot the pass out to Spenrath. Spenrath stopped at center ice. Back for it now is Rob Krause. Krause with the puck. Goes to the left side. Spenrath cuts it down. Leaves it for Jakes. Gets it right back. Spenrath left. Tried to get it to Levins. Levins takes it in. Fleetwood all over him. Levins and Fleetwood into the corner left. Loose puck as Levins and Fleetwood go down. Loose puck picked up by Harrison. Harrison brings it out to the neutral zone. Sebastian with it. And Portland goes in offside. Backing it offside, Jamie Black. 3:49 to go. 58 seconds left in the penalty to Barnes. 6-2 Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks. Most of the damage done in the second period. Tri-City's getting goals from, or in the first period rather, Niebs, Barnes, Reeves, and Sakic. Spenrath adds one in the second. Lindsay in the third. Lindsay had a helper on Spenrath's goal. Faceoff will come just outside the Tri-City's blue line now. Dorchak losing the draw. Puck out to neutral ice. It was Degner and Dorchak on the faceoff. Puck behind the net. Krause back in his own zone. Looks things over. Steps right straight up the middle. Goes left now. Finds Dean Dorchak up the left wing boards. Dorchak into the left point. Tied up by Degner. Puck fired in behind the net. Virtue popped by Harrison. Loose puck comes off to Sakic. Sakic and Jakes in the corner. Winterhawks with it. They drive it along the wall. Sebastian out to Krause at the point. Stolen away by Sakic. Sakic turns with Degner catching up. Krause jumps on Sakic. Sakic shot. Saved by Defoe. Sakic goes down, but Degner's there. Throws it up to Jakes. Jakes driving it down the point. Cut down by Harrison. Back out to the neutral zone. Dorchak. Dorchak slaps it back to Gorley. Offside, Portland. But Virtue and Dorchak both go down. I don't think either one of them hurt. Nope. And the puck will come back outside the blue line. 7 seconds left in the penalty to Stu Barnes. 2:58 to go in the third period. 6-2. Tri-City's leading the Portland Winterhawks. Winterhawks on their 6th power play of the night. Innes and McNutt on the face-off. Innes wins the draw. Back to Fry. Fry being looked over by Rennie. Fry steps up. Finds Leahy. Leahy up the middle. Beats one man. Walks in on Kolzig. Shoots. Kolzig stoned him point blank. Leahy went in clean on Kolzig, and Kolzig came up with a big save. Only the goalie doing his thing for the Tri-City Americans tonight. 6-2 Tri-Cities leading the Portland Winterhawks. 2:46 to go in the third period here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. Faceoff will come in the left circle. In the Tri-City zone, Judson Innes and Terry Degner on the faceoff. Under 3 minutes to play. Innes wins the draw to Deck at the left point. His shot hits bodies up front. Back to neutral ice. Fry with it. Spenrath goes after Fry. Now Leahy with the puck. Leahy blue line offside Portland as Linden was way offside, breaking into the Tri-City zone. 2:35 to go in the third period. Back in the Tri-Cities Coliseum. Tri-Cities leading Portland 6-2. Face-off just outside the blue line. In the Tri-City zone, Young with the puck. Young, cross ice, knocked away right in front of the net. Finally goes into the corner, Fancy with it. Drives it around beside into the left corner. Black and a whistle. Penalty coming as Fancy is smashed. Now Levins goes Fifth City. Two Americans, Spenrath and Levins, both having a poke at Steve Young as Young just really smashed Jeff Fancy. Fancy being restrained by the trainer, Steve Bailey. Fancy will bleed. This will be the third or fourth 5-minute major against Portland coming up as Scotty Levins really went after Steve Young. Levins will leave the ice. Young and Levins going Fifth City. That comes at the 17:37 mark. And will they sort that all out? We'll take a timeout. 6-2 Americans back in 1 minute.
This man is preparing for the most delicious, the most delectable, the most scrumptious pancake breakfast ever. And it comes from the Pancake Gourmet and Steakhouse. You'll enjoy the mouth-watering flavor, the incredible taste, the tempting essence of the best pancakes you've ever eaten. The Pancake Gourmet and Steakhouse, the best pancakes ever.
Well, we'll have the announcement of the penalties here in a minute. Young for Portland is going to go. I think that's pretty clear. Levins for the Americans. They'll each get 5 for fighting. Whatever else comes out of this, I don't know. I think it was Young that got the stick up in Fancy's face, which would give, well, Young gets an extra 2. Okay, let's see what we get here. As Tom Lathan will make the
announcement. Portland Winterhawk penalty to number 24, Steve Young, 2 minutes for roughing, 5 minutes for fighting. Tri-Cities penalty to number 16, Scott Levins, 5 minutes for fighting at 17:37.
Well, that'll give the Americans a power play, and I don't know who did what to Jeff Fancy because that was not clear. It'll be Dorchak serving the extra 2-minute penalty to Young. Levins and Young are both gone. Bench is beginning to thin out a little bit tonight. So the Americans, with their 11th power play of the night, have Barnes and Steve Jakes at the point, Sakic, Reeves, and Spenrath. Sakic wins the draw. Reeves to Barnes at the red line. Back to Sakic. Sakic finds Reeves breaking in. Reeves chops it into the right corner. Going after it hard is Deck. Spenrath lines Deck up. Spenrath crashes Deck. Sakic gets the puck as Deck is pinned to the boards. They throw it out front to Reeves. Reeves couldn't get the shot away. Back up to the left point to Barnes. Barnes a drive. Glove saved by Defoe. Puck comes down right in the slot. Shot taken by Reeves left of the net. And Defoe makes a save. Minute 31 left in the penalty. Minute 54 left in the game. Here at Tri-Cities Coliseum, the Americans play tomorrow night in Spokane against the Spokane Chiefs. Then on Sunday night, a 6 o'clock game, the Moose Jaw Warriors in town. With their all-star, Scott Humanuk, for the Warriors. Faceoff will come in the right circle. Sakic and Gorley. Now Fleetwood having a word with Gary Hughes. We have not seen Hughes before. Portland assistant captain Rob Krause is having a word with Hughes. Krause still talking with Hughes. Not exactly sure what's going to happen here, but well, nothing comes of that. Minute 54 to play in the game. 6-2. Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks. Reeves steals the puck, backhands it right into the face of Slemko, and then has to go back and get the loose puck. Try to leave it for Jakes, and Jakes gets clobbered, and Jakes just punched the stuffing out of Jamie Black. Well, Black put a stick on Jakes and started to go upside down. Jakes just picked him up and smashed him. Jakes leaves the ice. Black may have left the planet for a minute. Wow. Welcome to the league, kid. Jamie Black, a 17-year-old rookie. And more penalties coming here. Well, clearly Steve Jakes is gone for a while. And that's game misconduct number... well, Jakes may not get a game misconduct here. Yeah, he will. Ooh, Jakes getting 7 minutes. Won't really matter much, but 7 minutes going on the clock. That comes at the 18.
Number 4, Steve Jakes. 2 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting at 18-19.
Well, that'll end the power play. Americans 1 for 11 on power plays. Jakes 2 for instigating, 5 for fighting. Spenrath is going to argue with referee Hughes, saying sort of like, you know, like how can you give him 7 minutes when there's only a minute? Well, Spenrath pointing at the clock, pointing at Hughes, wondering what's going on. Bottom line is the Americans leading Portland 6-2 here late in the third period. This is getting a little strange, folks. Portland will have their 7th power play of the night in a minute and 15 seconds, and that'll only last just a few seconds before the game will end. Rink-wide pass left to Barnes. Barnes losing it to Slemko. Barnes picks up the puck, though, gets it right to Dirksen. Dirksen almost overskates it, tries to lead Sakic. Sakic has to whack at it as Jamie Black goes back to make the play. Back into the Portland zone. Krause trying to get it away from Reeves. Krause takes a wicked shot at Reeves and missed him. Puck back to neutral ice now. Dirksen dropping it back to Barnes. You hear the crowd react. Back to Dirksen right side. 6-2. Tri-Cities leading Portland. Winterhawks now. Slemko picks up the puck. Chopped away from him by Sakic. Back into the Portland zone. 1 minute mercifully to play as Barnes steals the puck at center ice. Barnes back with it. Barnes, both teams 4-on-4. Barnes picks it up. Jamie Black back to watch. Barnes makes the pass to Reeves. Back to Sakic. Sakic brings it up the middle. Sakic keeps it in play in the Portland zone. Winterhawks drop it back. Sakic steals, finds Reeves. Reeves doorstep, takes a shot, poked away by Defoe. Fly with the puck. Penalty coming as Reeves and Jamie Linden have a little go. Now Virtue jumps on Reeves. Jamie Black jumps on Virtue. Farrell's in there trying to help the linesman, I think. Fry and Sakic go have a little waltz there. We have a little blue Danube here. Da-da-da-da-dum, da-dum. Oh, well. Gee whiz here. Linden went after Reeves, and Virtue landed all over Jamie Linden. Kyle Reeves sort of standing there like protesting his innocence. 31 seconds left in the hockey game. Now Reeves wants to come back on the ice, have a little yip-yap with Krause maybe. Reeves throws his glove at Krause. It's somebody on the Portland bench. Krause takes it away, and that was Fleetwood he threw the glove at. Krause takes the glove away. He's going to hand it to the linesman. Reeves is still hot because Linden went after him. Ken Hodge is just airing out Hughes. And talking with Dean Broman in the second intermission, the Portland broadcaster, Hodge never yells at the referees. Hodge may chew parts off of them, but he does not yell at them. And boy, he is just really letting Hughes hear it. Hughes is down there in front of the to say this game's been a little out of control would be putting it rather politely. 31 seconds remaining in the hockey game, or whatever this has been. Now referee Hughes reading out of the Magic Black Book. Tony Otts made his way over to the Founders Club. Watching from over in the Founders Club, where I see the big television set is on. You with us, Tony? Let's see. He's over in the club now. As referee Hughes continues to have a word here. Coming up on the morrow, Tony, you with us? Over in the Founders Club? Nope, apparently not yet. He has, should be joining us shortly, though. 31 seconds remaining in the hockey game. More penalties are going up. 2 minutes going up against Reeves against the Americans. So it'll be 4-on-3 for 31 seconds. Not that it really matters. All right, here comes the announcement. Or should momentarily.
Here are your penalties. First of all, for the Portland Winterhawks, number 11, Jamie Linton, 2 minutes for slashing, 5 minutes for fighting. Number 22, Jamie Black, a 10-minute misconduct. For the Tri-City Americans, number 17, Kyle Reeves, 2 minutes for slashing, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, and a 10-minute misconduct. Number 21, Terry Virtue, 5 minutes for fighting. Those penalties at 19:29.
31 seconds remaining in the hockey game. 5:50 remaining in the penalties to Jakes. 2 minutes on the board against Reeves. 8 seconds left in the penalty to Steve Young for Portland, which means the Winterhawks will end the game in a 5-on-3. Trans Sandwith, who seems to be the designated penalty server tonight, goes back to the penalty box. Spenrath and Innes on the faceoff. Leahy has the puck as Innes wins the draw. Leahy in his own zone. Goes left to Fry. Spenrath pops Fry along the wall, and the puck goes back to Judson Innes. Innes through the neutral zone. Spenrath pokes it away. Now it is 5-on-3 for 12 seconds. But Dirksen is there to slap it back into the Portland zone. 7 seconds. 6-2 Americans. Out to the neutral zone. Leahy wiped out at the blue line. Spenrath steals the puck. Game is over. Now Dorchak goes after Spenrath, who just walks over there and gives him one of those "you gotta be kidding" deals. Final score: Americans by a technical knockout. 6-2. We'll be back with a post-game show coming right up. Back now at the Tri-Cities Coliseum. I'm Kirk Williamson, and a recap of that third period would be somewhat pointless. Suffice it to say the hockey that was played was a 4-on-4 goal. Lindsay on a beautiful pass from Devin Dirksen at the 4:31 mark. After that, no hockey happened. Let's go now to the Founders Club and Tony Ott.
All right, Kirk, thank you very much. We are in the Founders Club right now, and yes, the Tri-City Americans win a big one tonight. over the Portland Winterhawks, the final 6-2. They now improve their record to 29, 23, and 3. This first time that this hockey club has been 6 games over 500 since coming to the Tri-Cities. So the Tri-City Americans playing some very good hockey as of late. You bet. Give them a good hand. They deserve it. Joining me until a couple of the players come on up here from the locker room is Mr. Dave Pryor from Central Scouting. His specialty is goaltending, and he's the only one throughout the Central Scouting Agency that actually has a chance to take a look at the goaltenders, critique them, talk to them a little bit, and give them a rating on exactly what they did. And Dave, welcome up here to the Founders Club, and welcome to the Tri-Cities Coliseum.
Well, thanks very much, Tony. It's been a pleasurable 3 days here in Tri-Cities.
Now, Dave, your specialty is goaltending. Obviously, we just mentioned that. You get a chance to take a look at some of these netminders. What are some of the things that you talk to these goalies about?
Well, when I'm in working with the goaltenders in practice, we're really trying to set a pattern, a style of training that's going to allow them to develop the skills that are going to enable them to make the jump to professional hockey.
When you talk to these, this is a different breed of animal. You've got a lot of different things that go on through these guys' minds. Ever run across that? You were a goalie yourself. You probably relate to them real good.
Well, it is a different person who chooses to play goal. It's a job where you're often blamed when maybe you shouldn't be, but that goes with the territory. It's also a position where there's a lot of glory when things are going well. And, you know, I think Ole last year in here to scout him, you know, was a recipient of a lot of that attention, and that's always rewarding in that position.
Dave, you had a chance, I know, this afternoon to talk with Donnie Blishen a little bit. Are you going to be talking with Olaf Kolzig at all?
Yeah, we'll be speaking afterwards. I've been on the ice with them the last 2 days for practices. Got to know Ole actually better than had an opportunity to last year. And we'll go over a couple points. I thought he played very well tonight, though, and not too much to criticize.
All right, very good. Dave, would like to have you come back here and talk with us a little bit more down the road. Are you going to be back in town to take a look at these guys again?
No, I'm only going to catch your club one other game, and that's in Kamloops, March 6th, I believe. So that's the last game I'll see Tri-Cities play this year.
And a very big game, matter of fact, up there at Kamloops as well. Dave Pryor, ladies and gentlemen, from Central Scouting. He specializes in goaltending. We'll take the time out right now. We'll be back in just a moment with a couple of the players. We'll talk with Scott Levins when we return. The final score, once again, the Americans 6 and Portland 2. All right, we're back here live once again in the Founders Club of the Tri-Cities Coliseum. A great crowd here tonight, and joining me up here, big right winger Scotty Levins, who didn't have any points tonight, but that's not the big deal here. What we're looking at is that Scotty Levins played his heart out tonight, and he was out there. He's one of the guys that went out there and really corralled them down in the corners, and again, another fine outing by Scotty Levins. Give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Scott, another fantastic game, a game where you come out there and you throw the body into some people and it really starts to ignite the team, and then everybody starts throwing the body, but a game where it kind of started out, I guess if we want to go back to the refereeing, and I know I'm going to hear that question tonight on how the refereeing was, but I know you have your personal opinions about it. The game started out as very close. Then it got really wild towards the end, and you know, with your type of play, you're kind of the one that gets looked at a little bit if you start throwing your body around, isn't it?
Yeah, I got a couple penalties there that weren't. I didn't think I deserved them, but obviously he did.
Yeah. What is this about? You know, you guys are getting a close game called against you, and then you want to really try to play that kind of game. It really throws you off, doesn't it? As you get going into your pattern, your rhythm.
Yeah, it does. Luckily, we had good penalty killing at the start of the game, and then we always seem to get pumped up after we kill a penalty, and then we score.
What was going on here out there tonight? A lot of talking. I saw a lot of people.
Yapping, a lot of sticks, and not much clean play.
What about the sticks? That gets pretty scary after a bit, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What was going on? How come the sticks were being used so much tonight than, say, another night?
I don't know. I think he called everything in the first, and then he kind of got away from him after that. So.
Do you think there was a bit of frustration on the Portland side?
Yeah, definitely.
After they took that loss to Victoria on Wednesday evening, and they come back now and take another loss, and Portland's playoff hopes are dwindling quickly.
Yeah, they are. They got to pick their pants up here.
That's pick their pants up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Scott. You get to classic. Yes, sir. You get to watch this again tomorrow night. You know, so.
Well, we play.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, as far as your type of play out there tonight, were you picked on a little bit from those guys, knowing that I saw you in several situations down there tonight where they were sending guys left and right after you?
Yeah, I think they were trying to get me to take a bad penalty, which I did a couple times there, but I just have to try to keep it under control.
What do you tell a young player out here that is watching you play out there, and they know that they're coming after you? Just continue your style of play?
Yeah, and just, you know, if somebody gives you a cheap shot, you don't get them right back right then because you're going to get a retaliation. Just, you know, notice it and get them back later. There's a long season.
Get them back later, yes. Yes, sir. Tom, you got any questions there?
So, did anybody find Scott Maiden's jersey?
I think Bill.
We'll open up to anybody that has any questions tonight. Scott Levins, if you have a question you'd like to ask, we've got some hands. Make sure that you come up here to the front here because Tom's microphone cannot reach all the way around here. You got a question?
What do you want to do for your career after hockey?
That's a good question. I'll probably go back to school and do something in business. But right now, I'm going to give it my best shot.
Well, right now, it's a good shot too. It looks as if a lot of people are looking at you, Scott. You keep it up. Yes.
I'd like to know, what is it like being a Rookie of the Year?
Well, he's not Rookie of the Year yet.
Bill Lindsay will tell you that one when he comes up.
I'll tell you what. One of the things that we did do, and I think I understand what he's talking about there, is that on my sports show we did a informal poll. And Scott Levins was picked as the Rookie of the Year by the fans out there that called my sports show. So I think that's what they're talking about there. All right, next question.
And both of them knew what they were talking about, too.
Yeah.
How many goals have you made?
I think 22.
And let's see here.
That's too much.
Cut it out. You from Portland or what?
No, I'm from Kennewick.
Okay, we were just checking. All right.
There we go.
What team would you like to play for in the NHL?
Anybody.
Anybody signs a paycheck, right?
Right.
How many points do you have?
I'm not sure on that one.
Oh, I could probably help you out there. 49 points, and that's right, 49 points as of tonight, so you need one more for that 50-point mark.
Yeah.
What do you think of Stu Barnes getting in a fight tonight?
It was good. He showed he was playing with intensity and everything, and, you know, he doesn't need to do that, but every once in a while you have to do that. So.
All right. Another question.
How many years have you been playing hockey?
I started skiing when I was 4, so 16.
Just right after walking, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
And it throws on the skates. You know, you mentioned something about going back to school after you're done with hockey. You had a scholarship to go to school before you came here to the Tri-Cities, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you decided, and that was a very tough decision for you to come here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Very tough.
What was the pull here?
I wanted to concentrate on hockey. I didn't want to have school and social life and all that thrown into it. I just want to concentrate on hockey, and that's it.
So you're real dedicated on the fact that you're going to do something with this career. And
yeah,
you're going to go
try.
on. All right. I believe you will. What do you folks think? Scott Levins, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more question here.
Scott, I noticed your hat. You got a bass hat on. Are you a bass fisherman?
No, never been fishing, but this is Kyle's. He told me to wear it. Plug. We got to plug Kyle. He's a fisherman.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Levins. We'll go ahead and take the timeout. We'll be right back. Coming up with Billy Lindsay right after this. All right. Thanks, Tom. Way to go.
I'll never forget 1958, the first overtime championship game ever played in the NFL. Unitas and the Colts, they beat the Giants 23-17.
And the sporting news was there. The Sporting News, with more complete coverage than any other sports weekly.
Call 1-800-292-1100 and get 29 issues of the Sporting News for 4 payments of just $4.99. You'll save 69% off the cover price, 40% off the regular subscription rate. Call now, 1-800-292-1100.
Up. Way up. That's what's been happening to cable viewership. At the same time, guess what's happened to network viewership? And the majority of those lost network ratings have gone directly to cable. Over 120 million viewers have found cable, and there's a simple way for advertisers to find them. Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
Well, Chippy and mine ran me, so didn't have much choice.
Well, we're talking, of course, about the check that you gave him in the second period there, and it looked as if it was a clean check, and that's the way you feel about it, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course he does. As far as what happened is that you could almost sense what he was going to do. He came back on the ice. First off, it's a good thing it wasn't a serious injury, and that's one of the things that you look at. He was able to come back out, but as soon as he came back out, he was throwing the stick at you almost all the way through that third period there.
Yeah, I think we lined up for the draw just before it happened, and he called me over. He wanted me to take the draw. He was asking me why I wouldn't take the draw and stuff, and he just started screaming at me. And I didn't think much of it, and I just sort of blew it off. And then I got the puck on the sideboards, and it was 5-on-3, and usually it's pretty contained. He just come flying at me and dropped his gloves and started punching me. So, and then I dropped mine and started punching back.
Well, you did a good job. I'll tell you what. Is that the first time now this season you've had a chance to drop the mitts like that?
It's about fourth, I think.
Fourth time?
Yeah.
About the fourth. Yeah. Of course, I knew that, right? Yeah. So as far as this kind of action that goes on there now, did he land any punches that hurt you at all?
He hit me with one pretty good one, and I went down for a second there, and saw a few stars. But I tried to get back up real quick. I didn't want to be too embarrassed.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that you're not hurt, and a clean-cut kid like yourself out there fighting on the ice, you know, that doesn't happen too often.
Oh, no, it's not too often. I try and play the game for the most part, but the situation arises every now and again, so...
Yeah, you got to do it, and especially tonight. Yeah. They were a little frustrated, no doubt about it.
Yeah, they're a little frustrated.
You had a nice-looking goal tonight as you came in. It was a beautiful pass from Devin Dirksen. He put it right on your stick. Full stride went in and just was able to pop it past Entworth there for the marker. You like those kind of goals when they're all wide open like that. You can go to town, don't you?
Yeah, Durkee, I wound up in the corner, and I was going pretty fast, and Durkee saw me and put it around my stick, a nice soft little pass, and got lucky enough and put it through Edgeworth's legs.
And that was a pretty goal, too. Now, you've got 30 goals on the season, 31 assists. You got 61 points on the year. What was your goals at the beginning of the season?
Well, no, I didn't know much about league. I wanted to get 50, but that's a little out of reach right now, but we're just working. I'd like to reach 40 by the end of the year, but we just want to play, and our team's playing good, so as long as we win, I don't really care what we get.
That's right. This is a team sport, right?
Yeah, team sport. Yeah.
All the way.
If we win, individual things will come.
All right, there you go. Let's open up the questions. Tom?
Bill, it's going to be a long weekend with a bus trip to Spokaloo tomorrow and then a game back here Sunday. You think the team is prepped to win all three?
Yeah, I think we're pretty excited the way things are going right now. There's good atmosphere in the dressing room and stuff, so I think we're looking forward to playing every game right now.
This may be a good warm-up for the Chiefs tonight anyway. They tend to mix it up a little bit too, don't they?
Yeah, it's always tough to go to Spokane, and just playing their building, it's tough to win there, so we're going to play pretty good.
All right, let's open it up.
What first got you interested into hockey?
Just came down. My parents are from America, and they just came down to Canada, and they just decided to put me in it. Thing to do, I guess.
I got 6 of them here. Okay, we'll start right here.
How does it feel like to get in a fight?
I don't know. I still get a few butterflies there for a while, hoping once you drop the gloves, you just start throwing punches and hope you do pretty good.
What did it feel like to take a guy's shirt off?
I don't know, it's just, he's a little short guy, I was just swinging away, and I guess his jersey wasn't tied down to his waist, and it just came over his head.
This might seem like a funny question, but what brand of shoulder pads do you wear?
We wear Donzies.
How many years more would you like to be playing hockey?
How many years in a row have I been playing hockey?
How many more years would you like to play, is what he asked.
As long as I can.
Why did you change your number?
I wore number 11 most of my career, and I wore 25 last year, but I had most of my success with number 11. Wore it all through minor hockey days in my first year of junior, and then so once Rankers left the jersey, and thought it might be neat to get a little change and get back into my old number, maybe score a few more goals or something. I don't know.
A little superstition there.
What team would you like to play in the NHL?
What's that?
What team would you like to play in the NHL?
I don't like Scotty anywhere.
Billy, I'd just like to say your folks were up there watching you tonight, and the expression on their face, they were very proud of you. And I'd just like to say that as a Tri-City American booster and a fan, the whole area here is very proud of you. Thank you.
All right.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, Billy.
Hey, Bill, what would you like to see? Who would you like to see playing in the playoffs? Either Kamloops or Seattle?
I think the way things are going, well, Victoria's beating Kamloops tonight, but...
Well, I do have an update on the score. In the third period, Kamloops has jumped ahead now. They lead 6-5, and it is in the third period. So, there.
Well, the way things are going, I think pretty much the way things are going to end up, Kamloops probably be in first and we'll be in second. So we'll probably end up playing Seattle in the first round. Things might change, but we're looking at Seattle right now, and so we're trying to get it up for them.
What team did you play for? What team did you play for before you were an American?
I played Junior B in my hometown of Elk Valley, and then last year I played Junior A in Vernon, British Columbia, and then I came here.
Hey, Tony?
Yes, Kirk.
Let me interrupt here. Just heard from Dean Vroman, the Portland broadcaster. That game in Victoria is now 6-6 going into overtime. Oh, boy.
I think I found Maiden's jersey.
There it is, yeah. 6-6, and that game is being played in Kamloops, by the way. So Victoria and Kamloops, that is in overtime.
Go Cougars!
Up there. What an upset that would be. That would, no doubt about that one.
I guess they heard Scotty and picked up the pants a little bit.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Lindsay. We'll let him go and talk with his parents. Congratulations on a great game tonight. We'll take a timeout. Coach Rick Kozuback will join us in just a second. We'll return. The final score once again, the American 6, Portland 2.
The support and active participation of numerous community organizations contributed immeasurably to the success of Sunfest 89. 1989 was a year of change as Sunfest had to ask for increased public support and delivered big-name family entertainment in return. Enthusiastic crowds made the 50s and 60s festival the single most successful event in Sunfest history. Celebrate this summer with the good vibrations of Sunfest. Enroll now as a VIP Gold Card member. Invest in your community. Invest in Sunfest today.
Go on, shoot! Shoot!
The Dynamite late night movie will...
At Cinemax, we'll never hack up your favorite movies. We like the Hollywood greats just the way they are. No commercials, no cuts. We want to keep the class in classic and keep the dog food, the steak knives, and the fish lures out. Cinemax. More movies, more choice, more classics.
Well, we are back here live in the Founders Club, and I just been updated on the score in Kamloops. 7-6 is the overtime final. Victoria defeats Kamloops. Unbelievable, Coach. That is unbelievable. Tri-City Americans head coach Rick Kozuback now joins me, and Coach, that's a shocker there. That's going to be felt all around the country tonight.
Well, you know, I think it's, if you look at it a little bit more realistically, though, Kamloops just came back from what everybody knows is a tough Eastern swing, and it's not easy to play the number of games that they had to play. They played in Prince Albert on Wednesday night, probably jumped right on the bus and drove back, probably got into Kamloops late. late Thursday, you know, to turn it around and be able to play. And then when you play Victoria, I think if they were playing Seattle or the Tri-Cities or Spokane, it might have been easier. But when you play Victoria, coming back after a pretty tough road trip, and then you get Victoria thrown at you the next night, you know, the motivation isn't there. What happens is like what happened to us tonight. Exactly. You make a lot of mistakes, and you play fundamentally pretty weak, and the other team is on a high because they just won their first game, says who knows when, and they're ready to go and win some games. And it's a great moral victory for Victoria. It does hurt Kamloops, depending, of course, on what Seattle does on their eastern swing.
That's right. And now with that, what it does is it keeps it at 7 points. But I believe now Seattle has 2 games in hand on Kamloops, and they by far have the easiest part of the schedule heading into the last part of the season. So things could change atop the Western Division as we head into the last few weeks of this season. Coach, 9 out of 11, big win tonight. A game that, from what I'm picking up right now, a game that you probably didn't feel like the Americans played up to their abilities.
No, we didn't have a good game at all. I think we have to be really lucky that we didn't come to play, and we have to be lucky that Portland didn't want to play, because it made the game at least a victory for us. I thought fundamentally we did a lot of things poorly. Our power play was as bad. No, it was the worst it's been all year. You know, we just couldn't get anything going. We played really, and a lot of guys just couldn't, things didn't work. Like the pass didn't go into people's sticks. We didn't make the right decision when we had the puck. We broke down defensively, and those are all the fundamental things that shouldn't happen to us at this time of the year. But the good thing about it, I suppose, is that we're able to win the game and not lose the game, and we needed those once in a while.
Coach, do you find that when a team is on a roll, even the mistakes, the bad games, it has a tendency to be overlooked, and you can pick up on those 2 points, but you've got to be really careful not to play 2 or 3 consecutive bad games, because the luck does run out.
Yeah, I don't think we want to overlook the game.
Never mind.
What he's trying to say is, do you find it tough for the other players to go after, say, another player like Rob Krause? For our team that has been here, that find it tough to check Rob Krause, maybe drop the gloves if they had to, even though that Rob Krause is from this area here, or he played for the Americans here.
I don't even really think that enters into anybody's mind. I don't think that there's no premeditation whatsoever. The guys are there to play, and they're there to compete, and Rob's, or whoever it may be, is on their team to compete, and then you have to play the game. If you know, if it was anybody, it wouldn't really make any difference. I don't think that's an issue at all.
I think I got that right on. We'll find out later.
Who do you think played the best tonight?
Tri-City Americans.
There's about 44 penalties in this game. Do you think that it should have been lower or higher? What did you think about
I think it probably could have been a lot more. I thought that was probably the one, well, from our point of view, it was definitely the chippiest game that we'd been in. I'm sure we're definitely not angels by any means, but I thought that was about as uncontrolled as I've seen Portland this year. You know, we've got a multitude of cuts. Calvin Nibbs has got 2 broken ribs and a bad thigh bruise. Steve McNutt has 2 broken ribs. Jeff Fancy got cut for 8 stitches. You know, a number of other guys have got cuts and pretty severe bruises, which we haven't had all year, like not to that degree. It was definitely a game that I'd hate to see repeated again.
What do you think about Sioux fighting for the first time?
Actually, I don't even, you know, the fighting that really to me is not, and I don't like discussing those things. It's for, everybody has to get involved once in a while, and if he chooses that that's what he has to do at that time, then I guess we'll accept it.
When you were little, did you ever play hockey?
Did I ever play hockey? Barely, because you can see by the way we're coaching the team that we must not have played very long.
How do you choose who's goalie? Because sometimes Ole's goalie and sometimes Don Blitchen's goalie.
Right now we're really fortunate. We have 2 guys who we feel really comfortable with. They're both capable of playing in any game. We run on a little bit of a rotation right now. Not anything that's really predetermined a long way in advance. We just go by whoever played well the next one night. If we play Spokane, Donnie's probably going to play tomorrow. Come back here, we'll make a decision on who will play the next night. We're in a really good position. I think better than any other team in the league. And we now have 2 goaltenders who we feel can play against anybody and give us the wins.
I'm just curious on when Ole had a problem with his pads and Stu went and told the refs, how come they didn't come timeout or something so he could fix them? Why'd they just keep playing?
Yeah, you know, I didn't even know that his pants were falling down. Actually, but that's what was happening.
He told everybody. You know.
I don't know. I suppose he wanted us to take our time out and then have the goalie come over. I don't think he wanted to slow the play down any more than it was already being slowed down. He probably wanted to get the darn game over with. It took 3 hours as it was, but again, he didn't explain, and we didn't really require an explanation, I guess.
Coach, tomorrow night you travel up to Spokane. This is the last triple of the season. Again, Spokane is not a very easy place for the Tri-City Americans to play. I've lost two in a row right now up in Spokane. Game plan for tomorrow night. You got guys that are injured. This is probably not how you wanted to go into tomorrow night.
No, that's for sure. You know, our game plan. We have not had success in Spokane. Really, we won one game, played inconsistent in some of the games. We got beat badly in one game. I think that the way we're playing right now, it makes it a little easier to go into Spokane. I think we feel that they're a team that we have to beat. We know that we play Spokane and Portland 9 times, well 8 times now in the next 17 games. So more than half of our schedule is against Spokane and Portland. And when you throw Victoria in there, all of our games, or the majority of our games, are against teams of below 500 and below us in the standings. So we have to, knowing that, we have to go in there and feast on some of the lower teams in the league, and it's time that we win a game in Spokane. We felt we were due for a win in Kamloops. We got it. We feel we're due for a win in Seattle. We almost got it the last time we were there, and hopefully we'll get one. We need to win some games in Portland, and we definitely need to win this last game in Spokane. So we have to be really positive going in there, and we're not going to dwell on this game tonight. We just have to look at the future and pick out tomorrow, and it's time. We need one.
All right, and that, of course, tomorrow night in Spokane. I'm sure that you'll see a number of the Tri-City American fans taking the trip up to Spokane. Back here once again on Sunday against Moose Jaw. Coach, I'll let you go now. I know that you got some things that you have to take care of, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up from here tonight as well. Again, the final score tonight, the Tri-City Americans 6 and the Portland Winterhawks 2. For Coach Rick Kozuback, Tom Lathan, Kirk Williamson over in the booth, good night, and thanks for listening.